Do authorities believe the first two victims found were killed by the same gun person? Do you know the gun person's relationship to the school?
What the is this?
Just to be clear, it is 8 people in total, including the gun person that is deceased.
So we have 9 total people deceased.
Okay, and none of those people are the gun person.
That includes the deceased gun person.
Okay. And then separately, do you know the gun person's relationship to the school?
Not at this time, no.
What are you doing?
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
In this world, there's 2 kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns and those who dig. Broadcasting from a Montana wilderness fortress at the headwaters of the Missouri, this is Matt Christiansen Live.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is Matt Christiansen Live, a proud duct tape production for Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. Thank you for tuning in. Sitting shotgun tonight is our friend Joshy Boy. Welcome back.
Saddle up, partner.
And our friend Mark Aaron is here as well. He is Canadian, but we do allow it.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Howdy, howdy.
Have you seen any gun persons on the loose up north?
Just the daily amount, the usual.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so nothing abnormal.
Nothing, no.
God, man, I feel so naive because when I saw gun person trending on X, I didn't get it at first. Like it took me a second to make the connection. Oh, it's yet another tranny shooting, and they don't want to specify gender. So it's not gunman, it's not gun woman, even though they're telling us it was a gun woman. It's gun person.
Yeah.
I saw a gun person. I thought like when people say, "Oh, I'm a gun guy," you know, I like guns.
Right. Yeah,
That's where my mind went.
You underestimated the gayness.
The new terms, man. I'm getting older. The new terms come at me too fast. So
hard to keep up.
I can't. Gun person is I'm a step behind on that one. But in the news for discussion tonight, of course, a Canadian gun person has indeed committed a horrible school shooting in northeastern British Columbia. And yeah, we're going to dissect that term. Although now they are saying they're calling the person a woman. They didn't want to identify the shooter. Really? So gun person was when the shooter was not identified. Now that the shooter is identified, it's woman, as far as I understand the changing news. But it was a woman in a dress was the alert that went out.
Right. So it's actually a man then.
Yes, it is a gun.
Yeah, why would you call it a woman in a dress? I mean, that's a given.
I think he was wearing a dress legitimately. It was a man in a dress, but the dress part was correct. Speaking of women, though, another woman has joined the Hard R N-word club. There's Shiloh Hendricks at the Minnesota Park. There's the Cinnabon lady in Green Bay. Have you seen the Subway Queen, the woman who was on the New York City subway and was being accosted by KTLA Americans and responded with a perfectly timed N as the subway doors closed and she escaped? You see that?
She personifies timing being everything.
Some people say it's fake.
Oh, no.
Good. We'll show you. We'll break the news to you in a little bit because I want to see your reaction to seeing it for the first time. A pro-life guy gets berated by pro-abortion women at a coffee shop. There was a pro-life conference going on in Des Moines, and these women saw this guy, his pro-life shirt, and started berating him. And the results were pretty funny. We'll get into that. And then before we get into calls and stuff, in the context of all the welfare fraud that's happening, I was reading, I read a lot about all these different fraud cases, but I was reading a story on Monday that was asking the question, how much of our economy is straight up fake? Like on any given Main Street, how many businesses are actually money laundering operations as part of some fraud scheme? Now, I'm sure it depends on locale, but it was an interesting question I hadn't considered. Like, in every city, there's rundown stores that don't look like any customers ever go in there. Mm-hmm. How many of them are straight up fake money laundering fronts? You ever consider
I have the same question about a lot of these Latino stores that have been opened up around my hometown, like these little grocery stores everywhere. Like they don't get a lot of business except during the evening and the morning. and it just stays deserted throughout the entire day. So there's got to be something going on.
There might be. It's an interesting thing to think about. We'll get into it in a minute. We'll take your calls, voicemails, and emails as well. If you'd like to call the show live, you can do that through the Discord server linked in the description. There are instructions and help available for you on the server. If you'd like to leave a voicemail, there's still time to leave one tonight. If you can call the number in the description, you can get a voicemail in for tonight's show. I only have one voicemail for later in the show, so if you want to get one in, you got about an hour to do that. Number's in the description. We'll respond to it later in the show, and we'll catch up with your super chats as well. Before we get into it, we got to say hello to our featured listener-owned business for the evening, and that's our friends at Elysium. Most of us use way too many apps just to stay productive. One for tasks, one for reminders, one for habits, goals, scheduling, and more, and they don't work together very well. That frustration is why listener and chatter of this show, Tortuga, spent almost a year building Elysium. Elysium is an all-in-one productivity app that brings everything together: goals, tasks, habits, events, appointments, and reminders, all in one place with flexible nesting, so they actually work for real project management. Have an extra 15 minutes before your next meeting? Just hit the Make Me Productive button, and Elysium intelligently pulls your highest priority task. Auto-scheduling makes planning effortless. Natural language lets you create schedules instantly, and built-in alarms help you stay focused. You can even collaborate with teams, share notes and files, and integrate with popular note apps as well. Learn more at elysium.is. Elysium is free to download and to use. Listeners of this show get 10% off advanced features for life using promo code MCListener. And as I did on Sunday, I'll emphasize, longtime listener and chatter of this show, Tortuga, he's taken a big professional gamble in building this app. He's betting on himself, so it would be greatly appreciated if you help him out just by trying out the app for free. If you struggle with all your different organizational apps, simplify it with Elysium, elysium.is. Linked in the description, free to get started, 10% off advanced features later with promo code MCListener. And there are also some fresh scents available from our friends at Hero Soap Company for Valentine's Day. Eucalyptus plus lilac is crisp and cool eucalyptus and delicate floral lilac. Your shower will feel like a spa day at home. Cypress plus teakwood is strong, exotic, and woodsy to command that special evening like a lumberjack returning from the forest. As always, 10% off everything from our friends at Hero Soap Company using promo code MCListener. If you missed any of that, mattchristiansenmedia.com/deals is where you can always find all the information. Deals by listeners for listeners. All right, that's enough of me talking, Mark. You have a YouTube channel to promote.
Yeah, well, I have a YouTube channel.
You
the
do?
Mark Aaron Show. I was just going to say that app looks great. So congrats on the listener for what looks like a really fantastic.
Have you downloaded it yet?
UI, UX. I have not. This is the first time I heard about it. So I will be
Elysium.is, linked in the
after
description.
the show, checking it out because I do a lot of work with teams. So anything more that helps me be more productive is always wanted and appreciated. So thank you. Yes, the Mark Aaron Show. Check it out. Available on YouTube.
Who gives a
I'm
crap?
there
I don't
doing
care.
a show.
That's it.
It's
Oh,
revived.
yeah,
It's back.
me
It's linked in the
talking about
description. If
stuff.
you can't get enough of Mark Aaron, our Canadian friend, you click that link and you check it out.
I have to check it out. I also have to check out Elysium. I need to know if it's good for like budgeting and stuff like that because I'm getting ready to.
It's
make
not really a
transition.
finance app. It's more like organizing your tasks and your plans and your goals and stuff like that. Not really money,
still-
although
I can still find use for that though.
maybe
Yeah.
if you have certain benchmarks you're trying to achieve, you can kind of
Yeah.
schedule those out. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like
Gotcha.
a time management thing, which
Yes, exactly.
very important.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, let's get into the Gunperson shooting. As of this afternoon, the numbers have changed a lot. They were saying earlier 9 people dead, including the shooter. Now I guess it's 8. Some 27, maybe more injured in this mass shooting at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. This is in rural northeastern British Columbia.
27. I had not heard that. Wow.
I don't know if they're all gunshot wounds, you know. They're saying that 2 are still critical. I know there's a 12-year-old that still potentially has life-threatening injuries. So a lot of times the injury numbers are people who got hurt running away. You know, they got pushed over, they fell down, something like that. Not necessarily shot. But yeah, there's a lot of people definitely seriously impacted and at least 8 people dead, including the shooter. So it happened yesterday, sometime in the afternoon. Police responded to the school. They found 6 victims dead, 2 more dead at another location. We now know that to be the shooter's mom and brother. So it looks like the shooter went and killed his mom and his brother, then went to the school and killed a bunch more people. And another victim actually died on the way to the hospital, didn't die at the scene. As I mentioned, still 2 people with serious life-threatening injuries, presumably gunshots for those people. It is the worst Canadian school shooting in 40 years, the worst Canadian mass shooting since 2020. There was a big one in Nova Scotia in 2020, Mark, and I guess that's why they're trying to take your guns. I don't remember that for some reason. Or was it 22? Was it 2020 or 22? I can't remember.
The Nova Scotia one, it was during COVID, so it must have been 2022, I think. But that one was sketchy as hell. They just dropped it. I haven't heard anything about it. Nothing made sense. It was really weird. But yeah, we Canadians, we do a really good job of completely destroying the gun control debate, because we got mass shootings, man. We got a lot of them, and they banned basically every gun.
They'll still ban them more. They'll do the Australia. Didn't ban them hard enough.
Well,
Gotta
it's
ban
always
them
what.
more.
Yeah, it's always what goes unsaid. I mean, the one 40 years ago, we just had the anniversary a couple of weeks ago. It was the Polytechnic, happened in Montreal, but it was a Muslim shooting women. And then we had the Dawson school shooting, which is a couple blocks from where I live, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And then now we got this one. And clearly guns don't kill people. Trannies and immigrants do.
And Sig Sauer. Don't forget Sig Sauer.
Yeah, that's been a pattern. Every school shooting that we hear about is done by a tranny, and they always kill themselves in the end.
The statistics command it, I'm afraid.
Look, I don't want to sound too mean here, but if you're going to kill yourself, just do it without killing anybody else.
You'd think.
Jeez. Is it just too much to ask, really? I mean, come on.
Be thoughtful with your transgender suicide. Please do it on your own time.
All right. Until just a few hours ago, the RCMP, the Canadian feds, they were not identifying the shooter, supposedly in the interest of privacy, I guess, for the family or for whomever. But within just the last few hours, they are now identifying him. He's 18-year-old. Originally, they were saying, or at least media was saying Jesse Strang. That's because his mom is Jennifer Strang, I believe is her name. The shooter's name is actually Jesse Van Rootselar, Jesse Van Rootselar, 18-year-old. But here's a reporter calling the shooter Jesse, calling him he earlier today, the RCMP official correcting the reporter to say the shooter is female.
Could you please expand a little bit on the suspect? Was he known to police? Were there any red flags regarding his mental health?
So a suspect is identified as an 18-year-old female by the name of Jesse. We have a history of police attendance at the family residence. Some of those calls were related to mental health issues.
Okay, so pre-existing mental health problems,
Right.
Police calls, all that.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's how you know there are feds. They had already been alerted and done nothing.
They probably hired Jesse.
Yeah.
And they're more offended by the misgendering than the many dead people.
Oh, all the time. They just want to, it's a narrative. It's an agenda.
Yeah.
So, the shooter's name is Jesse Van Rootselar, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But we know that he's transgender not just because of what is implied by what the RCMP official said there. Based on social media accounts, we know he's transgender. His mom's posts, as we'll get to in a moment, identified him as transgender. As we heard, the RCMP is now calling him a woman. What they mean by that is he's transgender. But that initial report went out from police. First of all, before we get into that, though, I was looking at this. Mark, you can tell me. You're a Canadian expert here. I was scrolling through this New York Post reporting about the shooter's ID, and I see this image of a police car outside of one of the buildings on the school's campus there. And I thought, does that police car have rainbow imaging on it? Is this the ultimate irony? And I zoom in a little closer, and it looks like maybe it's just blue, white, yellow, red.
No,
it's not actually rain.
No, that's a rainbow flag.
But it's missing like green, It's missing purple.
Green and purple.
Could be hard to tell because here, I mean, same as the U.S., our police cars are decorated by municipality, so every city is different. I wouldn't.
Although
know,
that one is RCMP though.
Well, that's
that
what I was
one's
going to say.
fed.
It looks like an RCMP car. The RCMP being our federal cops are the most woke. I've never seen that color scheme associated with RCMP before, and my hometown is where they all train, so I think I would be familiar with it. But maybe they've just adopted the rainbow as their official
For now, I'm going to say I don't
Car
think it is because it's
decoration.
missing a color or two, but I thought for a second, do these sick bastards have rainbows on their police cars responding to a transgender school shooting? Is that what I'm looking at?
It would not surprise me in the least.
Anyway. Okay. So the other thing, so they sent out this, first of all, there's a picture of your shooter, Jesse, a relatively recent picture apparently, but they send out once the alert goes out from police that it's a woman in a dress. Of course, all the news articles follow. Oh, we're looking for a female suspect. We're looking for a woman. The alert was described a female in a dress with brown hair, and that was the alert that actually went out to people yesterday. As in, there's an emergency, you get that alert pop up on your phone. Suspect described as female in a dress with brown hair. Okay.
Wow.
And the thing is, like that confusion is legitimately dangerous when you have an active shooter situation and you are, in the interest of politics, describing the person in some way that is not factually accurate. That's confusing for the public. And that's another reason you know the shooter is trans, by the way. If you see a report of a female mass shooter who is reportedly successful, you know that's a trans.
No, but they didn't even get it right according to the agenda because he's not female. She's a woman. And you don't have to be female to be a woman. Female
I see. So like the term female is incorrect.
Is wrong.
Woman.
Yeah. They didn't even get that right.
Yeah. But if you're just a person, if you're a person in the area, I think they were searching for him and then they found him dead. So there was a little bit of time there where the public doesn't know where this gun person is. And if you have no idea what's going on, if it's your small town and you get that beep beep on your phone, wow, there's a female gunman running around.
Right.
You're going to be looking out for, by the way, we know from this guy's Reddit posts, which we'll get to in a moment, he's about 6 feet tall. He's not a small person. It was very obviously a man in a dress. And we're going to give the public an inaccurate description or a misleading understanding because we had to make sure to protect his sensitivities and as a consequence, compromise the likelihood that we capture him successfully.
I hate this country.
I hate mine.
I'd like to think our country wouldn't do this alert, but we're not far behind.
We're very close to doing that.
We're not far behind, yeah.
Remember Macho Man, all right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is Gunperson. That's what's going on here. And I want to get into the Gunperson commentary because last night before RCMP identified the shooter, that Gunperson commentary really confused the terms and the facts even more. And the journalists were pushing it too. In fairness to this RCMP official, as far as I gather, he's responding to a prompt from a journalist. You can't use the term gunman because he's supposedly not a man. He's transgender. It's not gun woman because he's a man. I guess we're not going with that. We're going with gun person to be gender neutral. I believe, unless I'm mistaken, I was listening to the press conference. I believe the term is first introduced by Christian Santana with NBC as an American news in New York, asking this RCMP media relations officer, his name is Chris Clark, about the gun person. And Clark responds.
Do authorities believe the first two victims found were killed by the same gun person? Do you know the gun person's relationship to the school at all? And if you can just round out, it is, just to be clear, it is 8 people in total, including the gun person that is deceased.
So we have 9 total people deceased. We found 8 in Tumbler Ridge in 2 locations. And then another was deceased during ambulatory transport to the clinic.
Okay, and none of those people are the gun person?
That includes the deceased gun person.
Okay, and then separately, do you know the gun person's relationship to the school?
Oh, my Lord.
Not at this time, no.
Thank you very much.
So is it, if there are multiple gunmen, like let's say it's a Columbine situation, is it gun persons or gun people?
I believe it
has to be gun people.
Okay.
It's a murder
What about
of gun persons. It's a school. All the terms are terrible. Yeah.
You
oh my
have
God,
to
we
be
live in.
so... Go ahead.
Just what a fucking clown world. Like 10 people or whatever, 9 people are massacred, and the story is that our institutions are retarded and are trying to figure out how to get the what's the right term for that? The pronoun, I guess. Correct?
Yeah.
That's the real
I
concern
guess.
here. That's the big
Yeah.
story.
Forget about the 9 dead people.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
that's
we don't want to
irrelevant.
misgender the person.
How do we properly pronunciate the
This
mass murderer? Yeah.
This has to infuriate the families.
I would hope so, but are Canadian families capable of being infuriated?
So, yeah.
So all hope is lost then. This is why, okay, listen. This is why we need to take over your country, right? We need to annex.
that
right?
amongst many, many reasons.
We need to take over your country to delay this by about 10 years tops. That's what has to happen.
At least maybe we'll get more entertaining sports halftime shows.
I forgot. I needed to put you on blast for that, Joshy, since you super chatted that the Bad Bunny show was good.
Oh, no.
Brief aside,
Look,
why was the Bad Bunny show good?
I didn't say it was good. I said I just liked it.
Oh,
okay, what's the difference? Why did you like it?
It was just different. I don't know. I listen to like foreign music anyway, so I guess I didn't have too big a problem with it. Now, is this style of music my cup of tea? Not really. But I like the aesthetics of it, and I liked some of the instruments that they were playing, but that's about it.
You fucking traitorous bitch.
Hey.
It was a decent production. I mean, it's funny because
Yeah.
I like I said, I couldn't care less about sports. I don't watch them, but I don't think I've ever watched a Super Bowl, but I've seen every Super Bowl halftime show just because they're a spectacle and you want to check it out. And as a piece of entertainment, as an entertainment property, it was well orchestrated. I don't mind that kind of music. I just thought it was really embarrassing. Like, I'm actually glad I'm Canadian and not like Latin speaking person, because they were like all there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Thank you for saying Latin person and not Latino or Latina. I appreciate that.
Latin speaking person, Spanish.
Yeah.
Because there's like, imagine if every time a Canadian performed, we all showed up and like popped out of the bushes. Like, yo. And there's like 30 million of us and like over 500 million of them. And so I just felt bad for all of them for embarrassing themselves.
I liked it. It wasn't as demonic as the American ones have been, right? I know everybody likes to hate on it. I didn't know TP USA or whatever the fuck they're called now was doing a show, and I actually didn't care. But
hard to get me to. I can't hard to get excited about Kid Rock. I'm sorry.
Sorry, and it's just
I saw a hilarious meme, and in full disclosure, I didn't see the Turning Point one, and from what I gather, I think they had a pretty solid viewership. So I'm not even trying to dump on it.
They had a solid viewership because everybody was just kind of like, "Oh, fuck this! Oh, the Super Bowl," because they already made up in their mind they was gonna hate it and just went over to TPUSA. Well, it's American.
That was the best meme I saw, though, was the Predator arm in arm, two people agreeing on something with the big biceps.
Yeah.
And it was the left and the right, like pretending to like their own halftime show to own the other side. Everybody's just pretending they loved the show, and it's to own the people you don't like. That's all.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's get back into it, because this wasn't supposed to be a halftime show. I just had to hear why Bad Bunny was supposedly good. So I will take responsibility for that aside.
The girls are also hot. I'm not gonna lie.
I guess I didn't see that much.
All thin. There wasn't a fat bitch inside.
Nice.
What are you talking about? Weren't these supposed to be Latinas? There weren't any thick ones.
No, they know how to keep themselves in shape over there. Hell.
All right. I guess if you can dance for Bad Bunny, you're probably burning some calories, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. It's not. So we got the RCMP using the term gun person. Earlier in the day, the CBC had a similarly confused report. It might be a woman in a dress out there, but don't call him a gunman. But not because he's a woman, because we don't actually know if he's using a gun.
Initially, when the active shooter alert went out, police said that they were looking for a female with brown hair wearing a dress, but we have not heard anything more from police about a possible suspect. Also, careful not to call the person a gunman, because we know that there was an active shooter alert, but police have not actually told us exactly how any of the people were killed or how any of them were injured. We don't know if any other weapons were involved.
They were killed via slingshot. How about that?
Say, it could be a slingshot. So man is okay, but gun is fraught.
Yeah, but even there was an active shooter alert, like she said. So I'll take your point that, I mean, obviously it wasn't a slingshot or something, but let's say he was a shooter carrying a slingshot or a knife. Like the presence of another weapon does not change him into something other than a gunman. So why don't we call him a gunman?
This is Tim Walsh retarded, man.
It's the Canadian media out competing themselves for the worst, dumbest take possible. She's like, well, I can't outcompete how stupid Gunperson is. So what if I go with Tony calling me? We don't even know if it was a gun.
It's a
how ridiculous
unspecified weapon person. What
unspecified weapon type being did something.
Yeah.
Something did something, and we will figure it out and let you know.
Unidentified entity with a projectile weaponry.
Yeah, and I can't get over this. These people are otherwise obsessed with public safety. They want to ban guns in the interest of public safety. We saw how they respond to things like COVID. But when it comes down to getting the public quality information to be on the lookout for an active, lethal threat to the community, an imminent threat, an urgent threat. Well, we got to be really careful about the words that we. This is
Matt. It was pretty clear. Some type of being who maybe or maybe is not armed or not with something possibly.
Also, female with brown hair wearing a dress. I mean, it's obvious. Isn't it?
We know that the mom was in on the transitioning here, and I want to be somewhat careful with this topic because this is a woman who was just murdered. Okay. Like I don't want to do the grave dancing bit. It sucks. The whole thing is terrible. Mm-hmm. However, there's clearly something happened with her son, and clearly, at least based on the transgender stuff, this mom was leaning into it. And it looks like a horrifyingly ironic end for this woman, Jesse's mom, Jennifer Strang. Now, I'm confused by her politics because she says in this Instagram post, well, I'm a conservative-leaning libertarian, but look at this trans pride flag. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe there are some of those types.
What the fuck is a conservative libertarian?
Well, I suppose someone who believes in very small government but conservative morality or conservative social views.
Up here, conservative just means right-wing, too. I mean, kind of the same as the U.S. It's like all conservatives, they're mildly confused about what they are. And it just means you're not radically left, even though she's clearly a radically left, somewhat conservative libertarian. So this is as confusing as the news story.
I'm not going to read her whole post here, but it's all about how small towns are very close-minded and we have to stop the hate in rural British Columbia. One thing I noticed about this story, too, where's Dad? I noticed Dad wasn't murdered, only the brother and the mom were. So very important question for whatever this parenting arrangement was. There's also some speculation that Reddit played a role in this, and perhaps Reddit and anime. And I forget, are you an anime guy, Joshy? Have we talked about that before?
Not really.
Not really.
My buddy is. I've had people recommend me anime. It's just not my brand of soda. Sorry.
We need an anime defender because Matt Walsh, among the many things he's criticized in recent years, one of those is anime. And in a kind of a crazy coincidence, or maybe it's not coincidental at all, maybe it's perfectly accurate foresight. 3 years ago, Matt Walsh quote tweeted a tweet from somebody else who had captured a screenshot of a post by this shooter, Joshy Boy 347.
Joshy Boy.
Yeah, no, it's stealing your style. But this Joshy Boy had posted about loving anime and wanting to make his body cartoon-like and advice for how he could give himself cartoon-like features. And Matt Walsh at the time is saying, hate to say I told you so, don't let your kids watch anime because they're going to be going to Reddit to try to figure out how to alter their bodies to make themselves cartoon-like. Right. Now he's doubling down on that I told you so because this guy's a mass shooter. So
I'm gonna say this. When it comes to pop culture, Matt Walsh is full of shit.
That's a common criticism of his. I mean,
he criticized the Sonic movie and admits that he didn't actually watch the damn thing. He wasn't paying attention to it, and yet he's like, "Oh, this is this, and this is stupid, and this is demonic, or whatever." But you didn't watch the film.
Well, yeah. Once you get gunned down by an anime-inspired shooter, you'll learn your lesson.
Yeah, when it comes to pop culture, I wouldn't listen to this dude.
I would listen to this take, though. This take aged pretty well.
Just because he's right every once in a while doesn't mean he's right, period, on pop culture. This dude pisses me off with that.
Wasn't the Texas tranny shooter? There does seem to be an anime to tranny mass murder pipeline.
There was some furry angle on one of the tranny shooters. Yeah. I don't know if furries and anime are different, right? Yeah, I can't...
say again?
I guess I shouldn't conflate furries and anime. Those are distinct things. But the Charlie Kirk assassin and his weird tranny boyfriend guy are into furry stuff.
Yeah, you can be a furry and like anime, but they are two separate things. I would
Yeah,
say
but
that
also
being no, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you've ever kicked the tranny hornets web on Twitter, they're all cartoon, like anime avatars. Like there is a serious overlap in the troon community and the anime. I'm not saying not all animes are tranny mass murderers, but all tranny mass murderers are anime fans. That
They want to.
This is my.
They really want to be the main character of their story. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe it's not a direct anime to school shooter pipeline, although, I don't know, you could make the argument. But it's fair to question what role Reddit played in this, because there is quite a significant Reddit footprint for this guy. So we know that he got into Reddit at about age 10 because he was into Roblox. And we know this through a collection of his posts through Reddit Lies here.
Roblox is full of predators too.
So now we got a Roblox to tranny mass murder pipeline.
Well, Roblox, like Joshy's saying, they have a pedo problem, which is its own thing. Yeah.
They have a massive pedo problem.
Yeah.
Wait,
so.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure. I might not know what Roblox is. Isn't it like Lego?
Dude, I hardly understand Roblox like Minecraft.
Okay,
I don't get the game, but Joshy can explain it.
Roblox is a different thing, often compared to Minecraft or Lego, but it's kind of its own thing, and it's free to play. I think you join all these different mini games and stuff. And the problem that they're having, because there's a YouTuber, I think by the name of Schlepp, who's been exposing all of these PDF right, that use Roblox to go and target children. So it's kind of like, what's that guy's name again? That's a catch a predator?
Like Chris Hansen, or the other guy who's doing it now, the Rosen guy. What's his name? I forget.
Yeah. But Schlepp is like the Chris Hansen of Roblox, right? To catch these guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Roblox it's a game for kids that a lot of predators hang out on because they can talk to kids.
So it's an online engineering type of game.
Yeah,
so we're not off there, but it's
like a mini
for predation.
Yeah, you can play different games and crap on it.
It's like you can build games in the game. It's like if you went into a Lego world, you can build whatever you want. You know.
Yeah, it's like that.
My childhood is ruined now.
This guy joins Reddit at age 10, which, regardless of whatever your interests are, joining an online community at age 10 is suspect enough. But he likes Roblox, so he gets into the Roblox subreddit. And by all accounts, through age 13, he was interested in normal boy stuff, guns, military, all that. Okay, he starts transitioning at age 15. He starts posting about advice for male to female transition. He starts here's where it gets worse. He starts experimenting with drugs while on SSRIs, prescription medication, antidepressants, and floating ideas about taking different medications together, mixing drugs and all that. And by age 17, 18, he then shoots up a school.
I would like to correct you on one thing, right?
What?
He is not transitioning. His mother is influencing him to transition.
Yeah, you have to wonder
possibly
what the influence there is too.
Yeah. Well, and putting him on drugs. And that's the two things that always get overlooked in all this. One is the prevalence of psychiatric, what do you call it? The brain medication. They're all on SSRIs. And these are all mind altering things. Again, I've seen them help people, but there's a severe prevalence of maybe there's some link to the, other things in your life, like schools, which can be fucking terrible, and then put kids on SSRIs in schools, and you have a recipe for disaster, which is what we're seeing over and over.
We know what the Canadian... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, one thing. Dangerous Spaces says it's Alex Rosen is the other guy you're thinking of.
Yeah, I Fight for Kids, right. We know what the Canadian government's response is going to be. It's going to be just like the Australian government after they had that Islamic mass shooting a month or two ago. And we don't know yet what gun the Gunperson used. There's a photo circulating of him with what looks like a bolt-action rifle, but I'm not sure exactly what he has in the photo.
And if pretty much have to be like we already banned all these.
But this is what I was going to ask you is where are they going to go? Because I was reading about this, and I assume this is the stuff that with which you have immediately complied, Mark, and have no further action to take.
No more guns.
So they have that Nova Scotia shooting in 2020, and Trudeau and company they ban like 1,500 different guns, including AR-15s, which I didn't realize AR-15s were even legal in Canada. Maybe certain configurations were legal up to that point.
I think till like 5 years ago.
So then 12,000 people turn their guns in voluntarily for compensation for, so-called buyback. And then you have, a long story short, you have a deadline for this amnesty period ending October 30th. And then they've frozen handgun sales. Like, can you not buy a handgun in Canada right now? Somewhere in here.
Yeah, I don't know, because they keep doing more stuff every 6 months, so it's hard to keep up with. But as far as I know, yeah, handguns are under the same thing as this new ban, where you can't buy them or use them or sell them. You can own them or turn them in until the amnesty period, and then who knows what. But yeah, they've already gone. Like, they just banned 2,500 more. They're banning assault-style 22s.
So what are they? They're gonna clamp down more, but what can they do? Anything?
I don't know. There's a great clip. I wish I had it. Maybe I'll post it as a comment if I can find it. There's the minister who's in charge of the latest ban. He's this just chipmunk-looking, puffy Indian guy, and he's being questioned what the Canadian Firearms Safety Act and the Canadian Firearms Safety Training courses are, and he's not familiar with either.
Wow.
And this is the guy banning guns.
This is
he doesn't even know what you need to get in order to be able to be licensed to get a gun in Canada.
Yeah.
I hate to be this way. Well, I'm not gonna hate to be this way. I'm just gonna have fun with it.
Be that way.
Sometimes
Be it.
a little bit of racism will go a long way. All right.
Okay.
If you just started banning the Pajeets, if you started outlawing Islam, right? If you just
it would fix a lot of problems.
It will fix a lot of problems.
Yeah. I'm not racist until they're in my government taking my guns. And then it's like that Shane Gillis thing. It's like hunger, you're not racist right now.
Yeah.
And then
but they're turning me racist.
Indian a hamburger cuts you off on the highway, and
Well, yeah, if they're not taking your guns, they're splattering you on the interstate. So it's a dangerous.
And if they're not splattering on the interstates, they're trying to help you with tech support.
So that's even worse. I've dealt with that with computer
I
problems.
had to deal with that.
No,
today.
please put me on the highway. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Were you successful? Did you get your tech problem fixed?
Fucked my computer.
Oh, of course. All right. Well, if the gun control doesn't work for your spin, here is some elite level spin online from some kind of lesbian of one type or another. I don't know who this person is, but I saw this video circulating earlier today in response to the shooting. If you wonder how this could possibly be spun, twisted, span into a we're still the victims narrative, here is this gun person giving you the argument that the first victim was actually the shooter.
As a person who went to school, had hateful comments directed my way, the first victim of this tragedy was the shooter. And you can disagree all you want, but that person did not just decide one day that it was the day. It was the day that they could not take it any longer. I know it's a small community, but you know what also comes with a small community? A small mindset, an uneducation to understand that maybe difference is okay. The first victim to this tragedy was the shooter. Verbal abuse is what pushes people to a point where they don't feel worthy to be here any longer. And I only know this because I am a victim of this still to this day. There's only so much.
Lock her up.
Wait a minute. So if you
hold on.
Community, the hate and the transphobia in this country is the reason why tragedies happen.
Okay, so if words drove him to self-delete, right? Why are you still here?
Well, she's telling us she's going to go on a murder spree, so I think she should be putting.
If there was ever a implied confession, hey RCMP, take your rainbow car to this gun person's house and do a little investigation.
But that's a woman, right?
Supposedly, the characterization here says Canadian lesbian, but I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I thought it was just a dude trying to be a lady, but. When this creature right here says that the first person is the victim, right? The way I'm looking at it is that he was a victim of his mother, but yeah, if you said he's a victim of his mother, okay, I agree with you there.
Yeah, and the schools and the drugs.
Yeah,
like, she's not wrong, but she's saying he's a victim of conservatism.
Yeah,
which is
of
totally backwards. Like,
of transphobia and stuff.
Kid grew up in a small conservative town, surrounded by guns, and didn't murder anyone until he came in contact with gender ideology. So, which one's more dangerous?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, there is genuine unhappiness here. There is genuine suffering, and as ridiculous as that clip is, there's and as much as I do want to mock it, rightfully, there's a part of me that feels that sadness and that suffering. And the truth is, there is a fight that's going on there. You're not fighting bullies, though. You're fighting reality. Yes, there is a meaningful difference between men and women. Yes, there is something unique about the union of man and woman that no other union, no other relationship can recreate. And I want these people to stop suffering. I want them to stop feeling bad so they feel like maybe tomorrow's the day I shoot up a school and kill myself. I want them to prosper. And it's like, you're not fighting bullies, lady, or whatever you are. You're fighting reality. Align yourself with reality and you will live a happy, prosperous life. But until you do, you're going to be fighting the truth itself and you're never going to win that battle.
Yeah.
And they're just going to keep blaming everybody else.
Yeah, it's a sense of godlessness at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, we always talk about how this is the political aspect. This is also kind of a religious or spiritual aspect. You're fighting demonic forces as well.
Yeah.
Well, and there's as much as James Lindsay has discredited and embarrassed himself with the woke right bullshit, he did a great job of excavating what's been going on with schools. And there's a good series called Groomer Schools where he explains that they're doing this on purpose to create communist revolutionaries. And the side effect is they accidentally created a bunch of school shooters too.
Gunperson.
Gun people.
School gun persons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to move into the subway queen, unless you have more to say about the Canadian shooting. No, everybody had their.
Let's get to the good. Let's get to the
All right.
fun story.
Yeah, let's get to the.
I got
no victims and only joy.
Yes.
Well, depending on who you ask, this is worse than the school shooting. Actually, there are more casualties in this subway incident than the school shooting. But there are a lot of women lately who have had it with the KTLA behavior, and they're voicing their frustration to the maximum possible extent with the hard R N word. Of course, we have Shiloh Hendricks last spring in Minnesota.
Why don't you have the boss to say it right now again?
Yeah, it is all women, right?
It is, as far as I've seen, I'm not seeing the Subway Queen thing is a reference to a Burger King guy who also dropped the N relatively recently. So he's the only guy I can.
Was that recently though? I think it seems like that was a lifetime ago now.
I can't remember when that happened, but it's not not new. That's for sure.
What about the Indian chick?
Yeah, well, she was a woman too, but yes, I remember her. That one is in here. I don't have it on my soundboard handy, but it is deep in there.
Yeah.
We have the Cinnabon lady in Green Bay.
You are in there.
Let's see if I have that one. It was oh, here it is.
Get out of my face, you fucking
Okay.
Wait, isn't that Shiloh?
No, that's the Indian one.
That's the Indian lady.
I don't know the Indian one.
She's the only Pajit I will accept.
She some KTLA American was hassling her outside of she was in her car, and I can't remember why exactly she was being heckled and accosted, but that was her response to this KTLA American who would not leave her alone.
Get out of my face, you fucking
Okay. Now we have the Subway Queen, and she does look like she loves sandwiches. But this is about the actual New York City subway. And for unknown reasons, as far as I've seen, a mob of these KTLA Americans, they're heckling her on her subway ride. And the train stops at the station, and she exits the car. And you watch closely, Joshy, because the delivery is really the highlight of this moment. She says it, okay? She says the N perfectly timed as the doors close, and the mob cannot break through to get their vengeance.
Girl, next time somebody hit your nigga, you're supposed to beat their ass. Bye, bitch! Bye, bitch!
Oh, they cocked Go to the next call.
Fucking home,
Oh my god.
That's unacceptable.
Okay.
I don't think nothing's funny about it.
I find this is hilarious to me. I've seen something similar to these. There'll always be this one black dude who just blocking the doorway and stopping the train door from closing. And there'll be this one hero who kicks him out, right? And the door closes and he gets mad, throws his hat and starts running after the train car as it's pulling off, right?
Yeah.
the fact, first of all, it's always these black chicks who are harassing people, right? You don't really see a lot of us black dudes doing this because we're kind of just off to ourselves. But
yeah, I mean, I think of like the Nelsons of the world, but you're right in terms of the like the only counter I can remember is those I hate Asians and guys who beat up that old Asian guy in San Francisco. That was
right.
That was this kind of behavior, but
yeah. I can't say the N-word, but I can't even say it because I'm the black guy.
I guess you can on YouTube now.
Okay,
There's
someone's got it. Come on.
I've seen some videos lately where the N-word is freely used and YouTube seems just fine with it. In fact, the hard R is right there in the title.
Yeah.
Really?
I just don't want to strike your channel. That's it.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your consideration.
If listen, YouTube Pajit, if you allow it, I will stop calling you Pajit. Okay.
Raji Mohan has been rather kind lately, but that's a knock on wood too. It's like on Sunday, Matt P was like, "Hey, we had a good quality show with no tech problems," and then it all went to crap. So,
but
I'm say that.
Listen,
yeah,
I'm gonna learn y'all something real quick about my.
You're gonna learn me. All right.
Yes,
learn me good. Something. Let's hear it.
So, I grew up. My mother often wonders why, Josh, how come you don't want to date black women? It's because of that right there, right? They always
get Subway Queen's phone number. She might be available.
Well, she's too big, but she looks like she has too much Subway. But the thing
you're breaking every stereotype right now.
That's true.
Yeah. But the thing is that they're always the one with the baddest attitudes. They're always the one who always has a star fund. They always clap their hands. Yeah, right, and which is really annoying, and I just don't understand why. And they always complain about having straight hair, but they always have they always try to look like white women. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's I don't know.
It's
not my area of expertise.
It's just my way of saying. It's my way of saying. I don't like my women. Okay, I don't like my women. I refuse to. Yeah, that's it.
That's Joshy on Tinder.
Joshy, yeah.
I know this may seem racist, but if you're black, have too many pounds on you, got a bad attitude, long eyelashes, straight hair, and that's blonde, I'm sorry, you just get out of here. I don't want to date you.
It would make like a great home defense tool in a neighborhood where you're not allowed to have pit bulls, though. You can deploy her for that reason.
If you have a ceiling bird, I would hate you for life. Sorry, call the clients, man. Get the burning cross and have the noose ready. Sorry, you got to go, lady.
All right. Well,
this is just reverse racism because all those things are inflicted by white supremacy.
That's true. Back to Subway Queen. Now, if this is what it appears to be, and that was an authentic moment, that is legitimately ballsy because if even one or two of them got through that door, she's getting curb stomped.
Yeah.
Her teeth are going to be all over that subway track. She might be dead if they got through that door.
She took her life into her hands to bless us with that moment of pure joy.
I am not joking when I say that was incredibly courageous.
Oh, she waited for that door to close. She must have ride that subway a lot to know when that door closes.
I wonder if she instigated the whole thing just to get that out at the right time. She set it up. Hook, line, and sinker.
Now, where is her Give, Send, Go or her GoFund? You're supposed to get rich off of these, okay? You
did she get canceled though? Like, has she had any?
I don't know. I don't know what her story
is. I don't even know if she has
I
an
think
internet
it's
presence.
so embarrassing for the black woman community that they just dropped it. Because I haven't heard anyone even try to go after. They don't even want to know who she is. Like, they want her to disappear forever. And this never happened. Get it off the internet.
I think I would hope that there'd be enough humility to say, okay, you know what? Well, that one was so good that we're giving you a pass.
Like, I was like, you know what?
Perfectly dropped.
If I was in that crowd, I was like, you know, I'm not even mad. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, that one is just respect. You got to let it go.
I was like, you got to respect the hustle. I was like, you know what? I concede. I'm defeated on that one.
There are claims that it was staged. And part of that is that there was a meme coin that came out. Now, Ian Miles Chong is saying that the coin came out before the video dropped, but I've seen people say that's incorrect, that his source of the video was wrong. So there are claims that it's staged. Now, and admittedly, the delivery and the timing was so perfect that it makes me wonder, is it too perfect? However, I think it's real based on a few factors. Number one, it looks like literally everybody there is having an authentic experience. Like if they're all actors, nobody breaks character.
It was the most perfect delivery of all time ever. I can spot a fake a mile away.
Like a flash mob.
That face is a real reaction. That chick in there, which she said the N-word.
Like that is shock and awe.
Mm-hmm.
That's the face that tells me it's real. Is
that's
that
a
face
doe-eyed mulatto right there?
Who the hell's that? I don't know who that is.
Doe-eyed mulatto. You don't know what mulatto is?
Oh!
That's
I
like
thought that was doughy-eyed.
Mixed race person.
Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what doughy-eyed is, but a mulatto is what? Half white, half black.
Is doe-eyed meaning like whiter half or white?
No, doe-eyed looks like that derpy looking innocent look. Like was she really
like a deer? I was thinking doughy like Pillsbury.
Okay.
No. Oh, she does have a Pillsbury boy.
So this woman has single-handedly convinced me that it's a real moment, but I got about 10 minutes and several other things, or 3 other things to get through here. So unless you guys have more to say about the Subway Queen, we'll move on.
No, that made my night. I like that.
Here's another great moment. Another amazing viral video. This man called Nathan Weiser. He was in Des Moines, Iowa for this Abolition Rising conference this weekend. It's an anti-abortion pro-life group. And he went to a nearby coffee shop at one point. Apparently because he had Abolition Rising or pro-life a T-shirt on or a conference attendee, tag on him, he was identified and accosted by these 2 obese women outside of the shop. This is Smoky Row Coffee in Des Moines. I don't think these women run the shop. I think they are just passersby who became enraged by seeing that he's an attendee of the pro-life conference that's in town.
Get the fuck out of my city, you fucking assholes! Get the fuck out of here! I'm taking pictures of your license plate.
So,
no.
We don't want to know.
We don't care. Get the fuck out of my
So
city.
you just said a bunch of stuff and then you don't want to hear anything
We
about
don't want to hear it. Yeah, you're a fucking loser. You have no right to tell me what to do with my body, you fucking piece of shit.
Bye. Come on, Heaven.
Go kill yourself, you son of a bitch.
Right.
Woo, you feel
Bye.
me? Suck my ass.
Yeah,
That's a huge bitch.
I'm sorry. I don't think anybody's gonna fuck that ass.
Turn to Christ.
Fuck Jesus Christ. Fuck you ugly fucker.
So yeah, anyways, the coffee here was decent, but I don't know about the client.
Love that.
There's a lot of different hair colors and stuff, and it kind of like messed with the vibe and the color scheme going inside. But otherwise, I was been pretty nice. So, thus concludes my review of this area. Thank you.
The delivery with these people, man. Perfect.
Yeah, so anyway, the coffee was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best. I prefer this coffee shop, and the hair colors kind of threw me off a little bit. But
he says
a couple of demons. Other than that, great coffee.
A couple of beluga whales washed up on this beach.
She unironically has rainbow glasses on. Okay,
I know she's extra gay.
Now, in fairness, we didn't get to see the how the confrontation originated there. He says, "Yeah, I was just here wearing Abolition Rising stuff, and that's why they were mad. They could tell by the shirt that I was wearing." So, I tend to believe him based on their behavior. I don't know that he just pointed at them and said, "Look at these 2 fat cows," and initiated a confrontation that way. But man, the thing about this, like the absolute state of women, the modern woman, is hideously obese, hate men, reject their greatest gift of motherhood, believe the most important thing in their lives is the ability to kill their kid, condemning themselves to a life of rage and unhappiness, insist on inclusivity, but extremely exclusive of anybody who challenges their view even slightly. And the worst part of all of this is that we as men have to fix it, because the future of the species depends on it. We have a God-given duty to fix these women. And I'm just thankful that I don't have to do it. I just get to tell the rest of you, you have to fix them. Maybe these aren't fixable. Okay, these might be beyond repair. But man, we as men have to prevent the women in our lives from falling into this, from becoming this. We have a leadership duty to stop it.
Yeah, well, and I just heard a crazy stat recently. If you don't hate women yet, the declining birth rates the number, that is the justification for why our countries need to be invaded by foreigners.
Yeah.
Perfectly aligns with the amount of abortions women are having.
Oh,
yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that is the thing. That's one of the reasons, because of the birth rate is so low. While the birth rate overall throughout the entire planet it has been lower than it's been in previous
Not the whole
generations.
planet. Not the whole planet. Some places are exploding.
Maybe now, but
Yeah.
we're still kind of not where we're supposed to be population wise throughout the entirety of the planet. With this whole encouraging of you shouldn't have kids because they might kill the planet, or you shouldn't have kids because they're too expensive to have, or you just hate kids in general and everything. Then you got to import a bunch of foreigners who will begin to fundamentally change your country. Like I would say the next 50 years or so, everybody's going to be speaking Spanish rather than English because of all these Latinos coming over, right?
Don't forget the Jeets.
No,
what are you doing?
It's going to be a great war. Yeah.
There's going to be a great war. All the Pajis are going to have semi trucks ready to take out as many Latinos as they can. The drug cartels are going to be in their little.
We just got to do some really subversive Jewy stuff and get the blacks to take on the Jeets and the Jeets to take on the Muslims, and convince them that just ignore the white people and the Americans and the ADOS and go after all the immigrants after each other, and we'll be good.
The thing is, that's the only thing that will unite us together is a shared hatred of the whites, right? Even though
did you see the clip of the Chinese guy in Texas?
No, I did not.
What's that one about?
Oh, it's a Democrat named Wu, who's an American apparently. Literally comes out and says, if we could just all team up against the whites, we're already the majority and we could take over.
Oh, but diversity is not code for anti-white
though. Politics.
Yeah.
But you don't know. I don't understand how many black people actually don't like Asians either. Well, case in point, those kids who's like, I hate Asians anyway. Yeah, right. We were making fun of their others. I don't want to live next to them ching chongs over there.
Yeah. Well, I've been waiting. I mean, when are black Americans gonna get racist against all the immigrants and realize because at least there was a sort of a status. As a minority status, then that's being taken from them. I'm just waiting for the leftists to figure out that immigration is terrible against the working classes, if the left still cares about the working class.
They don't.
And for blacks to realize they're getting screwed over by immigration.
But here's the thing, though. We do realize that, at least the smarter ones, such as myself, we realize that, right? Because a lot of the things that we used to do are now being taken over by Latinos because they work for cheaper and they work longer, right?
I guess I know how you feel. I guess being part of the black community as a smart man is like being part of the Canadians as me.
Here's the thing.
You're one of them, but it's hard.
I kind of see in a way, I kind of been excommunicated from the black community, right? Because
I know
I share the same skin color, but I'm just not black. And I've literally been told this by classmates. You act too white to be one of us.
Right.
So I'm too black for the whites and I'm too white for the blacks. I'm just kind of there.
Yep.
Well, let me cover a couple more things before we get into the calls here. And to our callers, it might just be a little bit late, although I'll hustle up here, so it won't be a long wait. Appreciate your patience. We'll be right with you. But in Maryland, there's another insane squatter case. Now, I had previously talked about the DC case last year, where the scamming squatter took over an Airbnb property for effectively the whole year, and the owner just couldn't get her out. Eventually did, but it was a long battle. In nearby Maryland, a woman named Tamika Good, which I guess I stand corrected, although there's an E on this one, but I was just wondering the other day, like Becca Good and Renee Good in Minneapolis, that's a fake name. Nobody's named Good.
No, there's people with that name.
Well, here's one, Tamika Good, but it has an E on it, so I stand corrected.
I guarantee she's black.
Oh, how did you know? Was it the name Tamika?
Yes. I have never met a white chick with the name Tamika.
Yeah.
What was the girl on Boy Meets World?
That was Topanga, but there wasn't there? What was it? Tamika and Tamara? Wasn't there something like that? Was that Tamika?
Who?
There were those two black twins. Were they Nickelodeon or sisters or whatever?
No, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Was it Tamika and Tamara?
Tamara and God, my sister would know.
Tim will tell me in a second. We'll get clarification.
But
yeah, Topanga. I forgot about Topanga too. Anyway,
Tia and Tamara. That's it.
Tia.
Skulldugger. Skulldugger said Tia and Tamara.
All right.
Thank you, Skulldugger.
So Tamika Good has been squatting in a bank-owned $2.3 million home in the D.C. suburbs in Maryland. She actually went to jail for a couple weeks. Then she got out. Then she went back in the house. And in July, she was charged with trespassing and burglary. I think she got charged with the trespass and burglary, then still went back in, if I understand the timeline here. Anyway, just recently, she's now sentenced to 90 days in prison because she won't stop entering this home to which she has no right. So the squatting is crazy. It's another story of just like a ridiculously committed squatter in a very nice home. But even more comical is her lawyer, who agreed to talk about his client's case with local Fox Baltimore.
Okay. Get out my face.
Ma'am, why are you in a $2.5 million property? After months of delays, Good was convicted on all counts on January 22nd, sentenced to 90 days in prison. We spoke with Alex Webster about his client.
Look, there's a question. It's really the number one question on everybody's mind. How would your client, Miss Tamika Good, get inside a $2.3 million property?
The door.
Cut. I don't know if I can answer that. Allegedly.
Allegedly? Can nigga?
Can I cut?
No.
We're
I'll catch it.
I mean, we're rolling, my friend. Yeah.
Well, what had happened was...
See, what happened was... This dude ain't no lawyer. Look at this dude.
Oh, he's thinking.
Can you re-ask the question?
Sure, absolutely. So the number one question on everybody's mind is how your client, Miss Tamika Good, got into a $2.3 million property.
Well, Miss Good did her research. She found out that a certain property was under the control of a certain group. And that there was a title issue.
Just say she couldn't read,
she was
all right?
able to
And she broke
assume
in.
the property under squatters' rights.
So in Maryland, there isn't a particular squatter right. Am I missing something?
Well, it's not a particular squatter's right, but it's known as squatter rights.
Those are two things that have killed me with that. So one, he says, can you re-ask
the question?
And then he asks the exact same question. And then instead of not answering, he completely destroys her case. Well, she looked it up.
Oh my
and
goodness.
She's just
purposely targeted that home because of a loophole that she thought she'd get away with.
Well, yeah, that like, yeah, exactly.
gosh.
Even taken as like, I'm supposed to believe she just did scholarly research for fun and uncovered. But like, you're right that even if there's a kernel of truth to that, which there probably is, she probably did learn something about that house and find out something exploitable about it. It was not, hey, I'm a law student studying my property law, and I stumbled across this anomaly. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and it wasn't like innocently acquired, right? Like this is
she broke in, and
this is adverse possession. Yeah.
You would think that how much did it cost again?
2.2.
2.2. You would think it would have better security, right? It'll have better locked doors or something like that.
Yeah, but he said that she investigated and found out. So maybe it was
she investigated and she staked the place down. She kicked the door in with them high heels of hers.
Yeah, and she's charged with burglary, which implies forceful entry, does it not?
Yeah.
So it might have just been as simple as like, she broke a window.
That's what I'm saying. He destroyed her case just with anything because it's not, and it's in a state that doesn't have squatters' rights. So what's their angle?
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't have squatters' rights, but it's known as squatters' rights. No, it's not, because that's not the law. Now, admittedly, this is an AI summary of Maryland law. There is adverse possession. Like, you can come to own a piece of property that has been abandoned. But long story short, you have to live there continuously for 20 years. You have to occupy that property. So it's not like you just show up to an abandoned. First of all, it's not abandoned. It's bank owned, and presumably they're going to sell it. But even if it was abandoned, you need to occupy it continuously for 2 decades to get some sort of legal recognition as the owner.
Mm-hmm. But I know in a lot of states there is basically once you're in the door, they can't push you out. But I think that's New York and a few places. So where was
there are some
again?
places that have gone off the deep end. Maryland, as far as I understand, has not. Yeah. But and it has to do with distinctions between squatters and tenants. Like if you have a lease, if you've signed a contract, then you get certain protections and it can get messy. But the idea that someone just shows up on a piece of property and hides out there.
Well, also if what they're doing, if they're going on, there's a lot of databases you can look up bank repossession accounts and just surf the internet to find subject properties and then
knowing that there's nobody there.
Right? And that's what he basically just said she did. So good luck.
They'll let anybody as a lawyer, won't they?
Well, yeah, I am curious about his legal credentials. What school did he go to? I presume he passed the Maryland bar if he is practicing
The bar
law.
is set low for people like him.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like...
Remember, affirmative action is still a thing.
Well, I do want to talk about this idea of fake businesses, but we don't have a lot of emails and voicemails tonight. So I'm going to save that for a little later. We can come back to it. And I don't want to leave our callers waiting any longer. Before we get into that, hey, have you considered joining the MC Club? Well, you should. And here's why. Hey, if you enjoy the show, please consider supporting the show by becoming a member of the MC Club. For as little as $1 a month, you will enjoy a series of exclusive perks, including ad-free videos and podcasts, video calls, and a community Discord server with me and other listeners, loot box giveaways with channel merchandise, your name in the credit roll after videos and streams, and much more. But most importantly, you will help keep the duct tape production alive and independent from all those sinister forces of control. Join the MC Club at mattchristiansenmedia.com/support. Linked in the description.
All right,
okay.
So
did Mark go pee?
Yeah. Now there's been some people complaining about you always. They call it e-begging, right? Because I kind of got into it with another guy. We were very respectful of each other, though. But I was like, I'm getting tired of Matt always begging for money and everything. There's a lot of YouTubers who do basically what you just did.
If that's begging, I guess watch a different channel that doesn't beg.
Yeah, a lot of channels do that. So if anybody has any complaints, I'll be willing to combat you on that.
Hey, if you're here to complain, if you listen that it provides value to your life, you listen because it provides value to your life. Yeah, if there is not, if it's not sustainable, it will go away. I would love to be able to do it for free, but I can't do it for free. So that's why. The shilling will continue until morale improves, and you will listen to it.
Do it.
But no, I don't think like 45
shilling, Matt.
I don't think like 45 seconds to remind you that if you like the show, you should support the show is out of bounds.
Yeah.
If you think it's out of bounds, by all means, check out a different show. But
no, I listen to a lot of shows where they'll spend 15 minutes on self-promotion, and no, there's absolutely no shame in it. And everyone who's listening should be a member of the MC Club. Come on, guys.
There you go.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, you get to see more of me. Yeah. I'm brilliant.
Joshy's got to eat, man. That's why we need the MC Club too. Yeah. All right. RB. Go ahead.
Everyone's muted.
Oh, wait.
Oh, that's right. I am muted.
Sorry. God, dude, one of these days I'm going to get better.
Tell us what we're doing here. There.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, all right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. There's a thing that I came across and has been bugging me for a while. I cannot explain it adequately, and that is the discrepancy or differential in the homicide rates between Europe and America, right? So this becomes sort of a talking point for some people on the right that particularly are disillusioned with MAGA and stuff like that, where they sort of gloat or something like do a weird schadenfreude out of the fact that apparently a homicide rate in Europe is several times lower than America, specifically accounting for just whites. So some numbers: United States white homicide rate is 2.5 per 100,000. And European sort of average is around 0.8. Like, for example, Czech Republic, 0.9, Germany, 0.8, and so on and so on. I don't know why this is. I cannot explain it. Cannot explain it. Well, there are several explanations, but I don't have really any like actual data or a hard proof for any of them. Like, is it because of the guns? Is it because of some fundamental like racial difference? Although it can, I don't know. The other thing,
the numbers you're referencing, just so I understand, they are controlled for racial demographics, or they are not?
Yes,
they are controlled.
United States black is 19.4.
Okay.
United States Hispanic is 5.3. So United States, white
But how
is
does
2.5.
are you comparing?
What's
Sorry, go
Canada?
ahead.
What's Canada? Because we're the closest to Americans.
It's not
and
here
even
in the
though-
list that I'm looking at. The list that again, the source of this data is like, it's this image you saw on the internet, right? I didn't do like deep dives. This is one of those. Part of my question is if anyone actually knows their stuff in this area, because it was like, well, why is this? It's like one of those interesting things. I suspect it's some statistical nonsense, because I don't really believe statistics all that much after 2020 and what the stuff they did with COVID. Pretty much all data gathering is suspect to me at this point. All these metrics to which policies and incentives are hooked on, they will be manipulated because someone's getting something out of them at some point, right? But still, if this is a reflective of any kind of reality, I would wonder why it is.
I mean, you think of any.
Go ahead, man.
We got an echo. Do you have an echo?
Oh yeah, you have to mute me on Discord.
Yeah, because I don't have any echoes, so we should be good.
I have to mute me on Discord. Who do I
you might
No,
have
you
to
have
mute
to-
Joshy.
Yeah, mute me, so you won't hear the echo. And
That's
then-
mute Matt too.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yes,
thought we
mute
had it.
mute Joshy and
Matt's
me.
muted automatically. Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know, Josh. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think that if any stat is going to be hard to mess with, because they do mess with all of them, it's going to be homicide rates. And then for American whites, I'm gonna go
Homicide.
with proximity to blacks.
I heard homicide.
It's just influencing, making the whites murder more. Am I right?
Well, the thing is, within our culture, because I can kind of speak on this, it's the type of culture that we live in. Most young black men want to live the thug life because that's what they see in the media, that's what they grow up around, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not because of the white man. The white man ain't the ones causing drive-bys and shit, right? We kind of developed that on our own, and that kind of started with, the street gangs, the Bloods and the Crips, right? These are a bunch of individuals who had nothing going for them, so they decided to form gangs, fight each other, et cetera, and people, they make that look cool because of the money that they get, the cars that they get, the material wealth that they accumulate, right? And that's what a lot of our mostly young black men want to aspire to, right? And that's kind of been, it's kind of been amplified by networks like BET, living a thug life and everything. They see the rappers and that's why
BET always boosting that murder rate, man.
The music, the culture.
yeah,
So I'll rephrase my terminology for what accounts for the discrepancy in the numbers. It's wiggers.
Yeah, we can all agree we got to get rid of them.
Okay.
RB, to respond to your question, I am actually going to question the premise a little bit. Not because I think it's false, but I would like to see the data. So if you actually have the data, please send it to me. Because my understanding has always been that if you control for demographic characteristics, as in, say, race and age, that European and American murder rates are very comparable. But maybe there's a change in that. Maybe there's something, maybe my understanding is not correct. But that's what I thought was the case, that if you look race to race and say age to age, that you're going to get a very similar look between the United States and Europe, but maybe not.
Yeah, that was actually a point of one of these sort of counter signalers is that somehow America, the implication being through some kind of culture, or even the American whites are somehow more violent. One of which I don't agree with. I still think this is probably some statistical nonsense, some statistical manipulation, because I do remember there was a thread on Twitter. Some guy was running an AI race detection algorithm through mugshots of one of the states, right? And it came with 30% false negative for identifying whites as blacks. So rather they basically just the statistic gathering operations in the actual underground gathering of data is they'll just write a black guy that's obviously a black guy as white, right?
Yeah.
Well,
look into how they classify white, because they'll have like non-Hispanic white, and they do a lot of playing with what qualifies as white, and which they're basically
I know, for example,
African American. They're all white.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. FBI stopped, like merged white and non-Hispanic white into just white. But this is even beyond that. This is even in the cases where they have the category separation. The blacks, like the black categorization, it's just like a mistyped data. It's just data entry error. But it was on the rate of like 30% of the result. So when you look at something like New Hampshire, which is, if I understand it, the whitest state in America, it's the homicide rate is comparable with Denmark. It's between Denmark and Bulgaria, and the worst country in Europe is Latvia, which is between South Dakota and Montana. And it's straight. It's like very strange the stuff that comes out of this. And I didn't look into this. I don't have precise data gathering. This is all stuff I saw an image on Twitter.com. But I think it's one of those areas worth investigating to figure out what's going on here, because I don't really necessarily believe the fact that people are just more violent in America because, I don't know, magnetic fields or something.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's true. But
no, it's not necessarily true. It's also a narrative being pushed. When they say that more whites are more violent in here in the United States, they're trying to make it seem like the 14% of us that are here in the United States that are darkies, basically, right, are the least violent, and the reason why we're doing it is because of the whole white man. But I wouldn't go off that, especially if it's AI driven.
Yeah, you need to get really granular. Like, how many Latvians are in North Dakota and Montana? Right? Could be skewing all the numbers.
I gotta let you go, RB, but thank you for the call. All right.
Yeah.
Now,
also, it also just depends on what city. Is it a blue city, blue state?
No.
Snuggly Love Muffin is up next. Snuggly, what do you got for us?
So I saw a speech by this Spanish, she's from the Podemos party. Her name is Irene Montero, and she so Spain just naturalized 500,000 migrants. They just said, come on in, and they're talking about the economic impact of all this stuff, and they're like, oh, we need 600,000 workers just to satisfy our construction demand. But why is nobody thinking long term? Obviously, they're importing the third world for a reason, and she outright says, I want to replace the racists in our society. She said, of course I want there to be replacement of fascists, replacement of racists with working people, whatever the skin color may be.
So she is thinking long term.
Yeah.
She's thinking long term. I just don't know where the pushback is. We have Trump in the United States. South America's got Bolsonaro and Argentina, Milei, right?
Japan,
but
Europe did
sinking. Yeah, Japan.
They've elected a woman though, so that might
that could go the Italian way.
They could go the Italian way.
Yeah, I don't know, man. White guilt is a hell of a drug, and we got a problem with it.
Plus, these are, I wouldn't even say these are infidels. These are Muslims. So this is basically first the little bit of history. The Al-Andalus took over the Iberian Peninsula. Then you had the Reconquista, right? A bunch of Christian monarchs decided to take it back. We're witnessing an ebb and flow now. Now the Muslims are coming back to take over the Iberian Peninsula again. This is what happens when you get rid of monarchies, by the way. But
thank you.
Just slip that in, all right?
Yeah.
The Christian monarchs of yesteryear would be turning in their graves right now.
Yeah.
But this is basically what's happening. They're importing the Muslims. It's basically it's just a reconquering of the Iberian Peninsula, because Portugal might go the same way.
Yeah, it's history.
It's just
very closely.
Thank you for your authentic pronunciation.
2,000-year scale.
Yeah. Portugal.
Yeah. Well,
Portugal.
What bothers me is, as far as the long-term thinking is, you look at the lives a lot of these people live, and I know a lot of these elites are single, childless, or they're homosexual or whatever, right? What about the people who do have children who have and who are pushing this stuff? Their children aren't going to have the same quality of life in that country. Their children's children, and no matter how much money they give you right now, your posterity is forever screwed, right? So I don't understand what drives these people, because I don't think that they're actually thinking long term. I think they're, it's no big deal. we're just gonna completely subvert our entire population's ethics.
Yeah, it does seem strange too. You're exactly right that you can understand the short term gain, like, oh look, we've consolidated all our power and created chaos, and we get to rule over the chaos. But the chaos will eat you eventually.
Yeah.
So
I think it's social cachet. A lot of it, they're doing it because their friends are doing it. That's why the people who do have clout and are cool need to step up and get guest spots on Matt's show.
Yes.
All right, we'll work on it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
What's next,
Snuggly. By
Rogan?
the way, I don't remember the name. Are you a first time caller?
I've called in. It's been a minute.
Why do I just not?
the name.
I just forgot the name Snuggly Love Muffin. Okay, well, committed to memory because that's a good one. Appreciate your call. Thanks for the thoughts.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Next up is Fuen. Fuen, are you there?
Fuen.
Yeah. Hello.
What do you got for us?
Joshy, I cannot believe that you brought up the self-promotion right after. That's too funny. I think, hopefully it's clear that, the audience supports your self-promotion. And if anything, I think you do it a lot less frequently than most viewers. So, dude, who cares that somebody might complain about it? There's
Thank
no
you
way
for
he was ever gonna
validating
give
me.
money anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I want to clarify too, because the word beg was used, and I don't know if someone accused that of me or not. But I want to reject that term, not just because I'm trying to fight back against that person, but begging has never been my philosophy with this entire, if you want to call it a shift toward this MC Club plan or whatever. But my aim is to provide value. Okay, I'm not here to beg for you to support me and not provide value for that, which is exactly why I did it. Is to try to add some additional benefits, some additional value, and I'm open to adding value beyond that to the extent that I can for people who are in the club. So I know that people know that, but I just want that stated explicitly. It's not begging, it's value added, and I intend to add as much as I can.
Yeah,
That was pretty good begging. Can I get a pretty good sounder? Pretty good.
That one's in here somewhere. Let me dig for a second. I gotta find it deep down. It's supposedly alphabetical order, but
Supposedly.
Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you.
I also, dude, I've got a request. This N-word voted for Joe Biden as well.
All right.
And it can come at the end of me saying
Matt,
that.
maybe you should start charging for
Dude, I'll pay. I'll pay.
Voted for Joe Biden.
I also cannot believe. I know that on specific takes, Matt Walsh on pop culture, I think he's astray, but I think he's driving at a good point and he's trying to push people in a good direction. But I can't believe Joshy's coming after Matt Walsh's pop culture takes after defending the Bad Bunny halftime show and the Sonic movie.
It's
so
risky.
I'm just here to rip Joshy.
Look. All right.
That's true.
Listen.
That's
First
well
of all,
argued.
First of all, I'm not going back on what I said about the Bad Bunny. Okay. Yeah, all right. But on the Sonic thing. And what appalled me about it, because I was looking at it, not because I even watched the film myself, but the thing is that when you're reviewing a movie, but admit that you hadn't actually paid attention, and you say it sucks and it's doing things to our kids, I was like, why the fuck am I supposed to listen to you then?
By the way, what was the problem with Sonic? I'm unaware.
Yeah, why is he doing to our kids?
No, okay, so no, he's old, and like he said, he just didn't pay attention to the film, and he just didn't like it because he just didn't like it.
But there's got to be an argument. He must have had it was doing damaging things. How? Is it because Jim Carrey was in it? That's
I don't know if it was it was a huge thing when they did a redesign of the Sonic character.
Oh yeah,
it's like
the first design was horrendous.
That was a weird face. Yeah,
I don't know if it was just everyone is so concerned about this anthropomorphized video game character, and it's just a waste of time, and then the satanic angle might just be I don't know if he hates Who Framed Roger Rabbit, for the live action anime smash up or what.
Yeah, I remember that. But the thing that irritates me is that people like him. It's not even just him. It's people like him. It says, oh, because I don't like it or because I personally don't understand it, it has to be demonic because I grew up in a family like that, right? And it's frankly, it's a fun movie for kids to watch. And he even took he even said he took his kid. The issue that I have with Matt Walsh is the fact that he often talks about pop culture stuff that he either doesn't understand or doesn't care about, but says that it's bad for our society because reasons.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I can't take them seriously on pop culture.
Yeah, I had experience with that too. Like I went to a Christian school that wouldn't let me do a book report on Lord of the Rings because it had magic in it. Like that you can discredit yourself by being just hating everything, and that does seem to be kind of just that hate rage bait. It's like everything's evil and demonic, and it's like
I have the opposite experience. I guess I should have
very prudish.
I guess I should have grown up in that sort of situation, because I look back at people I knew who wouldn't let their kids watch Disney and stuff because there's like secret dicks on the video box and stuff. But I look back, I'm like, man, they were way ahead of their time.
I know.
They saw it coming from like a decade away. Good for them.
Don't watch the Super Dime show. It's all the
But here's the thing though. We grew up on things like Child's Play and Monster Squad and stuff like that. If you go back and watch the Animaniacs, what?
Huh?
I don't know that that's going to resonate with anybody here.
All right, cultural expert Joshy Boy, please explain what these things are.
Lord have mercy. Child's Play, Chucky.
Yeah, okay.
The doll that kills and murders people. We grew up on that.
Yes,
Monster Squad is a Halloween movie where the kids
I don't
actually
know if
swear.
I know Monster Squad.
It's a fantastic Halloween movie. I recommend it. Right?
Maybe
all banned in my home. That's
but
it'll be banned from now here on out in my home.
But if you ever go back and watch any episodes of the Animaniacs, the amount of adult humor they got away with while kids were watching it is insane.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I did watch Animaniacs as a kid, but I guess I didn't get it back then.
You weren't supposed to. It was meant for the adults, right? For kids, you just watch cartoon animals whack each other and something like that.
I heard SpongeBob. I heard SpongeBob is like that, and I've never watched it. So.
SpongeBob is like that. A lot of adult humor got slipped into kids shows without kids realizing it, but adults getting it.
But that's an art. I mean, that was done on purpose because anyone who's raised kids knows you watch a lot of cartoons, and you're like, please.
Yeah.
I remember watching like Gravity Falls and a few other ones like that, and I was like, oh, I can actually enjoy this show, and the kids loved it. So I have an appreciation for well done children's entertainment. That's not worshiping the devil.
My plug would be Over the Garden Wall on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like a Halloween Americana type, like Over the Garden Wall, fantastic. And that's
stop begging, please. I've had enough.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
That's annoyed. Yeah.
Have a great night, man. I appreciate the call.
You too.
Okay. Whoops, I put Joshy Boy in the wrong place. There we go. Okay, that's going to do it on our callers, live callers tonight anyway. Appreciate our callers, and we will get into... Let's see. Actually, before we get into voicemails, let's catch up with Super Chat for just a minute because I don't want to leave them hanging the whole time. So what do we got for Super Chatters? Oh, we'll start over on Rumble while I load up YouTube and Tippy. Zeke Hill, not Zeke Heil, Zeke Hill. Hey, Mark, it's Bert, your friend Bert. You know Bert? We have shootings all the time. But it's never really addressed in the news unless there is enough loss of life because the nationalities are never the right narrative. The guns are usually illegal and the demographics are what you'd expect. Also, our prime minister has a son that is part of the alphabet mafia. Thus, mentally ill alphabet people being violent is not in the media interest. As for the rainbow fag cars, Google SPVM Pride car. It is, and on official documents to take statements, we have male, female, or I identify as. We are supposed to respect the identity, respect their identity, not reality.
Okay,
so
just pause, just to decode a little bit. That the SPVM is the French for the Montreal Police Service, of which Bert is a proud member. So he's not speaking without knowledge of how insane they are.
So he's talking about...
he knows what he's saying, so... Lots of shootings here.
He's talking about this. Let's see if we can get it up a little bigger here. But yeah, like these are actual Pride police cars in Montreal. And we know it's legit because this is in French and I can't read it.
So you know it's official.
Yeah. Godspeed, Bert. Thank you for supporting the show and thanks for the information. And I knew there had to be Pride police cars somewhere in Canada. We just don't know if the ones in Tumbler
I'm
Ridge
sure there are more than one place.
Yeah. Ginger Ninja, he's back. I thought he was going to pick a fight on property tax again because Ginger Ninja was going back and forth with you on property tax earlier, Mark, if you remember. Ginger Ninja says, yeah, since my friend Mark is here, Mark, look up The Devil and the TVA by John Rich on YouTube at 22 seconds. Oh, he wants you to he wants you to pull a sounder that's not even in my system. You got to go to 22 seconds. You think you own something? You don't own nothing. I guess
Should
that's
I do
Mark's
that now
philosophy.
while we're live? Yeah, we'll get it.
I mean, I can try. The devil. Okay, let me.
Again,
let me
I'm not gonna. We could do this for weeks, but at least it's one tax you get something for.
I'm not going to go back and forth.
Yeah,
with
let's
you.
not. Let's not.
Property tax again.
I hate it. I hate it. It shouldn't exist. There we go. I give up. You beat. Matt, you won. You won. I hate
Okay,
property
wait.
taxes.
I think this is. Oh, is this? This is a song, so I have to be very careful.
I wouldn't risk it because that might copyright strike you.
Hold on, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to be dangerous. Hold on. I'm going to pull up the exact timestamp, and I'm not going to play more than like 10 seconds. Here we go. Ready?
Stared the Great Depression down and never ran.
But that's not the line. Where's the line?
What was this?
Stared the Great Depression. Watch the crops die in the drought.
I can't play. That's I don't
Okay,
know.
never
That's
mind.
not-
I take it back. Property taxes rule.
I can't find the spot. Well, here I have one more option. Is there a transcription? No. Sometimes YouTube videos have transcriptions. You can go right to where a word is said. I'm gonna just have to take your word for
He
it.
recommended was a comedian, but I just totally missed the reference.
First of all, he loses on that front because it's a country song, and I hate country music. So,
Uh-oh.
How dare you? It's better than that BET terrorism.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you're also kind of wrong.
It's not Puerto Rican rap over
That's no
Latin
Bad Bunny.
beat. That's
right.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I can get you on that one.
Producer Tim, this occurred at Tumbler Ridge. Oh, for fuck's sake. I thought we were well past this shit, but apparently not. I guess Tumbler Ridge is in TUMBLR. The
Yeah,
Tumblr's
Tumblr.
dead, right?
No,
Like
it's
the-
still there.
Is it still there?
alive. Yeah, it's still alive.
I thought Tumblr killed itself after committing a mass shooting also. but apparently
No,
not.
Tumblr still exists.
I guess Tumblr is still involved in not only this tranny nonsense, but also the source of evil in this world, despite no longer existing. Well, he's saying it doesn't exist, so I don't know.
No, Tumblr does still exist, as does MySpace. That still
Okay.
exists as well.
Maybe someone else owns it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, MySpace got turned into like a music more centric kind of thing, but Tumblr's still there.
Didn't Timberlake buy MySpace or someone like that?
I have no clue.
I can't
just
remember.
Wasn't that in the movie? Didn't he play the guy who? Never mind.
Maybe I'm
Pretty
confusing
sure
him with
Timberlake played. What's
Is
his
that-
name? The guy
yeah,
who
was he the
started
MySpace guy in Social
Yeah.
Network? Is that?
Yes. Yes.
Maybe that's where I got the idea. The Wizard. I've been watching anime most of my life, and I can assure you that Matt Walsh is an idiot. The Looney
Thank you.
Tunes are an
Thank
invasive
you.
species and not endemic to anime as a whole. Not all anime.
Okay, so real quick.
Also,
now,
wait.
man.
Hold on.
Oh, there you go.
This is where this tweet goes haywire, though. Also, James Lindsay did nothing wrong.
Oh.
James
Oh
Lindsay.
no.
You fucking traitorous bitch.
James Lindsay.
I don't know. I mean, I
Not
haven't followed
ringing any
James
bells.
Lindsay that closely. I know he's picked a lot of fights, and I've seen him fighting with people I enjoy.
All right, is that
and-
the guy who said the woke right?
Yeah. Well, so
Oh,
he
okay.
was the guy who did Sokol Squared, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
He went and got got Mein Kampf almost published and trolled a bunch of lefty mags. But then he was really good at diagnosing the left, and then he was just as bad at diagnosing the right when he tried to apply the same metric and just completely made an ass of himself.
So to kind of further that point on the whole anime thing, there's been this thing called anime tourism because Mr. Beast recently and a whole bunch of other users got into hot water about it because they'll say, "Oh, should I start watching One Piece? I mean, I might start it," because they always pick the mainstream, most popular animes so they can do like, "Oh, I've been watching anime since I was a kid." So there's also the hood anime people, a bunch of blacks who get into anime, but typical in fashion, they mix the
Hood
ghetto-ness
anime.
with it.
I didn't know there was a. Okay, all right.
It's a whole
learning
thing.
new things.
It's a whole thing over there. I'm usually if you ever heard of the YouTuber It's a Gundam, I usually get it from him.
But
And I
what
just
is
kinda
Matt Walsh's opinion on hood anime? I assume he's anti.
I would, yeah.
He would probably. I was surprised he didn't pick up on that because then he'll be declared racist or whatever. I don't think he cares. But
That's kind of like the military guys who are huge fans of Gilmore Girls.
Oh wait, I have some vindication here. Producer Tim tells me Timberlake bought MySpace in 2011, but it has changed ownership 3 more times since then. So,
oh wow,
it wasn't
so
totally.
He played him and then was him.
I guess, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you, Wizard. Appreciate it. And anime is not for me, but I like.
not for me
I'm a
either.
video game guy, And I know that the same things have been said about video games. That video games will make you become a mass shooter.
Also,
I think the truth is, video games can be a massive waste of your life if, like many other forms of entertainment or recreation, it's not properly constrained and you don't have a proper direction and purpose in your life. But to spend a little bit of time relaxing, enjoying some time with your friends, properly constrained video games, I still think are not only perfectly acceptable, I think they're a great form of entertainment.
It's just relaxing. I mean, like, they always, and when it comes to mass media, right, or mainstream media, they always say that, well, these games are violent and everything. What about all the people who play Super Mario? You don't see them going around stomping on turtles and kicking their shells at people.
No, but blaming video games is like blaming guns. Like, if you're an aimless shithead, it doesn't really matter what avenue you are directing that through.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of ways to waste your time, and anime could be one, video games could be one, and when your life lacks direction, you are susceptible to vice in those things for sure.
Minecraft is never a waste of time.
That's engineering.
Yeah.
Esoterica Unbound. I wonder how many more, he's careful because Raju Mohan will ban him if he doesn't phrase this correctly, but he's saying how many more shootings the trannies with mental health issues will have before it's okay to refer to trannies as mentally ill. Well, maybe we're going to cross that threshold soon, but for now it's not, I guess. Thank you, Esoterica Unbound. Life Sanders, Joshy M. Obama, I assume Michelle Obama, or Big Mike Obama, once said that white people are the reason why she has to straighten her hair and the reason why black people can't swim, and that's the reason why black people die too. That was recently. We talked about it on the stream. I can't remember if you were on that show, Joshy, or not, where she was complaining about white beauty standards, and yet she totally conforms to the beauty standards that she's complaining about, despite being arguably the single most powerful black woman in the country, with the possible exception of Oprah. But I think Michelle Obama is more powerful than Oprah.
She's more influential. No, she's more influential.
You think so?
Sorry, Oprah's more influential than Michelle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who, if they ran against each other in a presidential primary, who would win though?
Oprah would destroy her.
You think so?
Oprah. Yes.
I don't know, man. All right.
Oprah is
Oprah has charisma.
Yeah.
Well,
she
that's
could
true.
do it. She could do it.
I get why people like Oprah. You know, Oprah's not for me, obviously, but to your point, I get why. I look at Michelle Obama and I hear the crap that she says, and I wonder, how does anyone possibly appreciate this? Because it's just bitching nonstop.
It's ridiculous. Like, we wear wigs to please white people, and that's why we can't swim.
It's just ridiculous, man. I can't swim because I never learned. That's the thing.
Oh, it's not because of that wig on your head? Oh.
Thank you, Life Sanders. Long Dong John, to be fair, Joshy Boy, if the women living near me were all weave Americans, I'd be gay too.
Bingo.
I mean, I'm trying to find me a nice country girl.
Brutal.
Well, you are going to move out to become a farmer sometime soon, you know? Yeah.
Maybe I find me a nice little country girl.
Soon he will have his real life, authentic cotton picking operation, but he will own it. He will have his own slaves on this cotton plantation.
The fun fact: black slave owners are called slave drivers, and they're actually more harsh than the white slavers were, and worse too. So,
do you aspire to become one?
If it gets the niggas in order, then yeah.
Okay, we are going to stop super chat there. Appreciate our super
chat.
Just
circle back with you.
We'll come back to those at the end of the show if we have more of them. But we got to get into some listener contributions in the form of voicemails and emails before we call it a night tonight. Before I do that, as a reminder to everyone, if you'd like to participate in the show by leaving an email or a voicemail, the way you do that is through the contact page on my website, mattchristiansenmedia.com/contact. And you can find the email submission box. You can find the click to call button to leave a voicemail, or the phone number if you prefer to do it that way. But let me give a quick refresh. I think we just have the one voicemail tonight. Yeah. And it's from Zach Log the Great. And he wants to talk about the upcoming or the ongoing based book sale.
Hey, this is Zach Log the Great. And I was just calling to encourage everyone listening to this show to check out the based book sale. That's the based book sale. It's on Substack from February 11th through February 18th. There's a whole bunch of indie authors who've all set their books to 99 cents a piece, and you can get all kinds of great stuff there, including a few of my own. And so if you want some interesting stories by indie right-wing authors exciting kind of things you're not going to find from mainstream publishers anymore. Go check that out. It's the Based Book Sale. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the call,
Very
Zach.
cool.
Log.
Does this count as e-begging?
Yep.
Please stop begging, Zach. We've had enough
because
of your crap.
that's why I was going to argue the other guy just on the definition. Begging is asking without offering something.
Yeah.
Which is not what Matt is doing, and exactly what that guy just did.
I know. I'm just giving people who complain a hard time.
No, he's offering his book. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh, what,
No,
right.
no,
Yeah,
no.
it's like, you have to buy it, right? It's just a good deal. So that's just
It's
a
on
sale,
sale.
and everyone should
Yeah.
take advantage.
We're just giving people who complain and shit. That's all.
Basedbooksale.substack.com for the based.
Oh, did they have to use AI art for that? Come on.
Based bake sale. Maybe they have brownies too. I don't know. 99-cent books now through February 17th, my sources say. So I don't know a lot about Based Book Sale, although I have encountered it previously. I know that if you're the sort of person who enjoys reading for enjoyment, recreation, all that, I understand that a lot of science fiction or fiction in general has been overtaken by the same ideological forces that have rotted movies, video games, some of the other forms of entertainment that I partake in more commonly. So if you would like books, good stories that are not infested with the ideological nonsense, you go to basedbooksale.substack.com. You get some 99 centers. And Zach Log, thank you for the reference. I just, which books are Zach Logs? I don't know. I wish I had a way to refer them, but they're in there somewhere.
Well,
are they listed by author, perhaps?
I don't know if that's the name
Is it
he
an
uses.
online sale only? How does this work?
I don't know. You can find out at basedbooksale.substack.com.
And the thing is that when he said right-wing writers and everything, that just makes me think the opposite end. So we have left-wing writers who write nonsense, but if you're gonna pitch that to me, just say writers, right? We have a lot of interesting stories. For me personally, and I can't speak for everybody else, but for me personally, when you say right-wing writers, that's like, oh, I'm just gonna get a more right-wing piece of crap.
You feel like it's going to be political propaganda and not just good entertainment.
Yeah, I don't know that this is supposed to be right wing. I think it's just supposed to be not left wing ideology driving it.
I was going to ask, how many of these books are in German?
Yeah,
how based is it really?
I know I'm kind of being judgmental, which is why I want to ask: are there samples? Like, can I look at an excerpt to kind of read it before I commit?
Stop begging. Moving on.
Yeah.
Based book sale.
Please, oh please.
.com. Okay, thank you for the call, Zach.
They're
appreciate
99
it. All right.
cents. Just buy the book.
That's 99 cents poorer than I'm gonna be. Damn it! I want something for free.
Hey man, if you bought 99 cents worth of silver like a month or two ago, you are you have like $2.
You would have 89 cents right now.
I'm not smart enough for all that. Okay?
I almost bought at $1.10. I was very glad I didn't.
Oh, well, even if you're holding for a long, it'll get back up. But yeah. Things have been crazy lately.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, just a few emails tonight. Now, previously, I changed the rules to say that I was only going to include 3, 4, 5 voicemails, emails, etc. And I am going to stick to that. But I think maybe that had the unintended consequence of discouraging some of you from sending in your emails or voicemails. And so please continue sending your emails, send in your voicemails. I appreciate your contributions to the show. And if I can't take them all in a particular week, just a reminder that if you are persistent, you will get in fairly frequently. So continue to send them. I did not intend to discourage anybody out there, but we have just three email questions this week. So we'll get through those. Odie says, as always, thank you for the reference. Thanks for such a great show. Well, thanks for tuning in. And it's always great when I wake up on Mondays and Thursdays, and it is always a great start to my week. Here's my question. Molly Ringwald calls for mass execution of Trump supporters. I'll take your word for it. I didn't know that happened, but I'll take your word for it. Kathy Griffin says to start tracking people who are MAGA and start planning. I heard her saying that. You go around your neighborhood and identify who supports Trump. Hakeem Jeffries says that Kristi Noem should be put on ice. Very clever. Tampon Tim Walls asks if this is our Fort Sumter moment. Trump supporters are compared to maggots, as in MAGA, MAGA, TS, maggots. A myriad of other direct and indirect comparisons to Trump, his administration, and supporters as Nazis or Gestapo. So my question is, when is the Radio Rwanda moment? And what can be done to avoid a similar path to Rwanda? Well, for context, if you don't recall, Radio Rwanda back before the genocide was the state-controlled radio outlet where they were encouraging the Hutu majority to attack the Tutsis. All those Tutsis, they're terrible invaders, they're foreigners, they're bad, and they've been killing Hutus themselves. So you got to go get them, grab your machete and get hacking. And then they did. So I do agree in general that the dehumanizing language, if it hasn't increased, it's become more comfortably deployed in recent years. I mean, look at the Charlie Kirk assassination case, for example. It's not, if people aren't justifying it outright, there's a lot of talk of, well, what did Charlie believe? What did he say? Didn't he really bring this upon himself? And that sort of talk. And so the question, what can you do about it? I mean, there isn't going to be a satisfying answer here where it's like, tomorrow's the day where we separate from these people and make sure they can never violently attack us again. No, what you do is you build security for yourself. Yes, that means that you have a gun safe full of weaponry in case these people were to try to attack you. But it's more than that. It's building security for yourself in the form of family and a home and all those things that make it harder for people to come attack you. And you train, you make yourself harder to murder in every context that you can, physically, in terms of your competence with weaponry and all that stuff. But there's not much more that you can do beyond that. I know it's not necessarily satisfying to say like, well, just make sure you're capable, and if they ever come for you, remind them how capable you are. The truth is, though, like, even if there is a little bit more, even if the times do seem a little closer to Radio Rwanda than maybe they were, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you're never actually totally safe. And whether it's politics or just a mugger on the street, what was the word, Mark? Stabbers? There might be stabbers out there at any point. So even when
stabber Americans,
gunpersons, you never know who's coming for you.
Stabberkins Americans.
All you can ever do in life is continue to build things that matter, that are focused around family, and take steps to make yourself harder to kill. Yeah. That's all you can do. There's not going to be some great anti.
Go ahead. Slightly different take. Sorry, Matt.
And I have a slightly different take from him.
Take power.
Counter macheting. We have to
take absolute power and wield it ruthlessly and relentlessly against your enemies, however you can. Because you always hear the conservative argument that, like, well, the left is good at community organizing, low-level violence, and targeted hits. They're good at more.
We got to beat them.
Because a lot of people still think that COVID was a virus. It wasn't. It was immediately politicized, and it was the left doing what they could to conservatives when they had power. And what they did was destroy your life, kick you out of every public space, and force inject your children. And they were one step away from camps. So if you think when they get power again, you're not going to be in a camp, think twice.
Yeah. My take is very similar to Mark's. Yeah, you do need to take power because that's the only way you're going to beat these guys, right? Eventually, this is going to come down to the use of force, right? The main thing that does irritate me about conservatives, and then Matt, I mostly agree with you. I do think you're missing one aspect, which is the me being catechumen and under the Orthodox Church, you do need a church community, a strong church community, not these pussy. I know the Protestants
you don't even
get mad.
Know my church, you son of a bitch.
Listen, I know the Protestants
I am
get
a part
mad
of a good church community.
Okay, but I know the Protestants get upset with me, but in general, you do need a strong church community to even fight back against not just the political force, but the whole anti-God force, the whole demonic
do I join the correct church before or after I listen to Bad Bunny?
I will convince you on it one of these days.
Listen to Bad Bunny in church, Matt.
All right.
Make that the newest service.
I don't disagree with the premises you guys are raising. On a serious note, as far as like this sort of this aspiration to seize power and wield it against them in the way that was done against us. In practical terms, how would that happen? How do you propose doing
by force? That's the only way.
Well,
by
like
force.
How would you, the guy, right now, do that?
Well, but to throw it back, church is a good organizing method for
and even Christians are called to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Can you?
But that's what I'm saying. Make yourself hard to kill, man. Make yourself hard to mess with.
I mean, really, right now, even in America, the Constitution has the ability to do it, but you need to elect the right person. Unfortunately, to break this to a lot of people. That's not Trump, I don't think, unless you're trusting the plan. Who knows? There could be magic going on in the background, but
I trusted the plan up until Pam Bondi. Now my trust is rattled.
Yeah, elect the right people, which is not libertarians or ex-liberals. It's people with a spine who are unashamedly not afraid to use power. And again, I think the darkest day is before the dawn, and I think unfortunately things have to get worse before they get better. I wish people had the ability to see what was coming before it was hitting them in the face. But
I also think is a form of complacency, right? Because there's also this thing like people are just too comfortable with where they're at. They don't want to risk upending their entire lives for something.
It's not bad enough yet. There are bad things, but the truth is it's not bad enough yet.
It's not bad enough, but hold on. But it's not bad enough until it's too late. Is where I'm coming from, right? It's only bad enough when it's too late and you can't defend yourself anymore, and you wish you had. The problem is that I'm always saying we gotta. Like earlier today, my boss was playing a speech that was at a Charlie Kirk rally or something like that, right? So I can't remember his name. It said we have to defeat them through dialogue, through debate, through kindness and everything. I think most people mistake kindness with niceness. The thing is that, but we're reaching to a point where the other side cannot be reasoned with. They can't be talked to. You can't really debate these people because even if you do, they've already made up their minds, right? Think about some of the most dense, stupidest, dumbest people who've already made up their minds that they're right, and you're just wasting your breath. I know most debates are for the people who are watching the debates, and maybe you may convince them on the arguments and everything. So I see it on that end, but we've already seen it demonstrated that the left side cannot be reasoned with, and it will come down to force. The question is, when are you willing to use it?
Well, I think that, it seems to be a bit of a right wing, not necessarily a trope, but a behavior. If you do take the 100-year time scale, then fascism is the overcorrection from the left wing trying to take power. And then if you take the 1,000 or 2,000-year thing, then the Crusades were that. And it seems to be the conservative thing to wait too long and then overreact. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can change the repetitive nature of historical cycles like that, but it would be nice if instead of waiting until it's too late and then murdering everyone, people could just be
so the correct answer, Odie, is to get your own radio license, broadcast your own Radio Rwanda, sharpen your own machetes, and start chopping their limbs off. And that will solve the problem. Okay. Thank you for the email. King of the Jungle says, what do you think is the cause of so many recent Democratic victories in deep red areas? For example, the victory of Democrat Taylor Ramett for Texas State Senate in a district Trump won by 17 points, and the victory of Chastity Martinez in Louisiana. That sounds like a contradiction in terms, Chastity Martinez. Do you think that Trump being president motivates Democrats to turn out more? Or do you think Republicans are staying home because Trump is not on the ballot? As far as this trend, as far as the trend of like supposed big Democrat wins in these small off-year elections,
who gives a crap? I don't care.
That's actually really my perspective on this stuff. But
I do have some. I want to offer something, right? So recently, okay, my cat just related, but
mine. That's funny.
Something that I've been beginning to notice is that when shit hits the fan in a lot of these liberal cities or a lot of these liberal states, the liberals will move to red states, but they don't like how the red states are living, and so they will fundamentally change that by electing Democrat leaders. So they're just the reason why you have Democrats winning in mostly red areas because you have a lot of Democrats and a lot of leftists moving to red areas for greener pastures to ruin, right?
There could be some of that going on, yeah.
It's like immigrants.
Yeah.
I think this is mostly a function of Democrats being hyper motivated when they are out of power during off-year elections in which most people don't care. And Trump is a big factor in that because their motivation against Trump is very strong. But I think you've seen this record historically, that in general, when Democrats are out of power, they are going to show up to vote in off-year elections more than other people are or will. And I guess maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to do the breakdown and say, and look at are these off-year supposed Democrat wins bigger or more common than they used to be? My gut level thinking is they're not necessarily, but maybe I'm totally wrong in that. I take it as a function of politics is their entire life. When they are out of power in an election that nobody cares about, they are still there to vote for their guy or their woman or their gun person because that is what they do. Whereas other people of a conservative or libertarian view are not captured by that ideology. They got stuff going on. They're less motivated in that way. I don't necessarily buy that this is a trend that is any different than it has been in recent history. But maybe that's naive. Do you guys think that there is some sort of trend developing here that's outside of the norm?
Well,
Joshy?
I would say let's see. The other part of that question is that Republicans staying home. I do think that's. I'm starting to give up as a monarchist. I don't really care for the whole voting thing anyway. But if you're staying home,
I thought you were saying you were giving up the monarchist ideology. I was,
Never.
What?
Oh, no,
dude,
He's going to come out as
never come back.
pro-democracy?
Once you go monarchy,
dude, I have grown more. I've grown more and more of a hardcore monarchist. I'm actually
King Bad Bunny.
Well, no. I mean, if he converts to orthodoxy, then probably, right?
Okay.
But
man of principle.
Yes, a man of principle, and you have to speak my language. But the thing is, I do think it's a bit of not just laziness on their part, but also we got a lot of Republicans right now who are just scared to wield power because they're a bunch of pussies, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So there is part of that. I don't understand the lack of backbone from a lot of Republican officials. So, but you
if
can't.
I have to hear if we do it, what are we gonna? They're gonna do it back to us when they're in power. It's like that's why you use power to make sure they never get back in power.
But to your point, they're already doing that.
Yeah.
Even before they had power, so they're gonna do that regardless.
Yeah. Well, this is why, like, you see everyone saying, "Well, the left is motivated because Trump's in and they're not winning." It's like, okay, well, then the right needs to realize if you want to win, then you need to be just as motivated when you are in power as when you aren't. Instead of it took COVID and all that shit to get the. I mean, obviously, 2020
and
was dubious, but
they're also. Yeah, they're also too reliant on Trump's charisma.
When you're in power, that's the one thing to learn from the left is that when you're in power, that's when you fight harder and you take more power.
Well, they push for stuff that like a small fraction of their base supports, and they still push hard for it.
Look at Starmer right now in the UK. I don't know if that's too out there for Americans, but the guy has no mandate whatsoever, and so he's passing every goddamn law he can. He's not waiting on people to like him. He knows everyone hates him. He knows his entire career is over. His party's finished, and he's pushing everything through with no power. And whereas Trump's got the entire three branches, and what's he doing? What's he repealing? How's he shoring up to make sure that the Democrats will never have power again?
Yeah, and everybody's always talking about how he's doing this 4D chess nonsense, and it's like,
bullshit.
Dude, you have the power. Yeah, you have the power.
He should be doing a press conference. He should be doing a press conference every day, instructing everyone on what he's doing and what they should be doing.
Yes,
take over the airwaves. He should have a dedicated channel called Trump Channel, where he's telling people exactly what's going on, and exactly what to do.
He should have a radio station and encourage people
to
grab their
Radio
Romerica.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, King of the Jungle. And last one here is Be Humble. I appreciate that there seems to be a bit of a logical renaissance for white men where they are finally noticing that the country has been overrun by foreigners who hate them and who want to exploit the country they built for themselves. But I feel like it's too late. The only way out of this that I can see is the denaturalization of foreigners who hate America but have citizenship nonetheless, as well as severe voter restrictions. But we can't even pass the SAVE Act because women and minorities might have to work a little harder to vote. The SAVE Act I haven't followed closely, but the idea is that nationalizing an ID requirement to vote, and that's not going to go through Congress because reasons. But yeah, they've been working on that lately. I feel like we're cooked, and as soon as the Democrats are back in power, the tiny bits of progress we've tried to claw back will be wiped out in a matter of months. There are many reasons to believe that we're cooked. This is one of them. I don't actually disagree with any of the premises here. And long term, I agree that the viable solution is a split because traditional Americans and the progressive left and or their their immigrant coalition. They don't necessarily agree on much. In fact, they agree on nothing. So how or why should we share a country when we don't share base foundational values? So this is a black pill, a very plausible one. The premises are incorrect, but are correct, not incorrect. Sorry. There's nothing factually wrong about what you're saying here, I don't think. But I whenever I think about black pills and whether you should take them or not, because I get tempted a lot too, and the premises here are tempting to take that black pill. Even if it looks very discouraging, you still have a moral obligation to continue. You still have a moral obligation to build because you have a God-given purpose for your life. You need to see that purpose through. And even when it's incredibly challenging or incredibly discouraging like this stuff, you still have to do it. Even if you face doom in the future, you still have to see it through, and you still have to fight for it, because the only way the doom is guaranteed is if you quit and you accept the doom. But there is actually a white pill in here too, in the premise of the question. That is to say, even though it's a very discouraging premise, and I don't think it's wrong, there is a point for optimism too, and that is to say that that men, white guys, they're waking up. They're seeing what's happening here,
and black conservatives.
Well, yeah,
come on,
everybody. I'm saying
throwing out there for Joshy. Come on.
His premise was white guys.
It's not just
so
the white guys.
I'm going by his premise here. The white
My
guys.
wife's
That's
brown.
all.
She's all in.
Well, there you go. I'm operating in Be Humble's framework. All right. My point is that if your premise is correct, that men in general, however you want me to phrase it, Mark, that
Just
men
politically correct. Matt.
that men
Come
are
on.
seeing this
It's not
happening.
even politically correct. It's just true.
That men are seeing this happening and they're very aware of it. That is actually an unstoppable force. That is to say, if all of society's men are in agreement in moving the country in a certain direction, the only thing that will stop them is their own hesitation, their own constraint.
Yeah.
All those like obese women at the coffee shop can't stop them. The entire mob on the subway begging to get out, they can't stop.
All you got to do is time those doors right. But
Yes.
not even all. Isn't the whole thing behind the 3%ers that even the American Revolution was like 3% of men actually did something and got it done? This is why I'm a big, like, once a few good men, trademark, it only takes a couple to realize that they're playing checkers while the enemy is playing chess, right? The left, like this idea of like, oh, we got to win elections. I'm like, okay, I'm not American, so this isn't treason or insurrection for me to say this, but the left they're holding open the gates and saying everyone in the world can come in with no due process, no rules. We'll bend every rule in the world, but you can't kick them out because the rules are sacred. Once the right realizes that the game is not won by following the rules, the game is won by playing on the same field. And then you get groups like Patriot Front, who I think are fantastic, and you get a couple 100,000 of them together, which is nothing.
Aren't they, are those the masked guys everybody thinks are feds?
Yeah, no, it's bullshit. They're not feds. They're amazing. I love it. They're organized.
I guess I've never heard like
That
the
is a
defense of them, because everybody assumes they're not
well-regulated
legitimate.
militia.
So what? So you. Sorry, I kind of stepped over you. I guess I haven't heard the case for Patriot Front, because they're always dismissed as some sort of fraud.
Because the average conservative is a fat fuck loser who can't imagine people being organized and uniform and looking good. They see it and like, well, that's not.
I don't know about
us.
those
We're
masks.
A
they look a little
bunch
silly.
of,
But,
you know,
I mean, they do get their logistics
because they don't
wrong
want to get
all
their
the
lives
time.
ruined. They don't want to get shot. They don't want to get their kids murdered. They're not idiots.
Yeah.
The same reason ICE covers their face.
I mean,
I'm just saying aesthetically, I didn't find the uniforms that impressive. That's all.
Well, it's something. Come on, throw them a bone. These are young men who are trying, and it doesn't take that
the
many.
thing is that, I mean, it's going back to forced doctrine. It's also just reestablish the patriarchy and everything. That's what we're after. Once you give men they want to saddle men with the responsibilities, but they don't want to give them the authority. That's the issue that we're facing right now. As soon as you give men the authority to do that, they're gonna. If we all collectively said no, fuck you, you don't have any rights, what can the women do about that? They
Well,
can't
and see,
do
that's
anything.
the thing. The authority is not given. It is actually the natural order of things. And this is not a call to abuse women or anything. Obviously not.
No.
But it is
No.
saying that in the natural order of things, men are going to run society in that way by virtue of their natural strength in doing so. And by the way, that is the arrangement that women prefer, even if they're going to scream at you at the coffee shop otherwise.
Yeah.
That is
the good
the
ones
reason they're
won't. The good
screaming is
ones
because
won't.
that's so unnatural to them that they freak out because it's so bizarre. That's
No,
why they
would-
become insane.
I don't even think that. I think the second you impose it, they'll be fine. Right now they're kicking and screaming because these are like children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be super sexist, but okay, you want to solve the world's problem, repeal the 19th and denaturalize everyone whose grandparents weren't born here. There. Problem solved. But
My thing is that I will
the left
also-
and women, they're like children who are lacking discipline right now. And undisciplined children are unruly. Because what they're craving and what they're begging for is structure and discipline. You give it to them, then they're happy and calm, and they're not offing people and painting their hair crazy colors and piercing their face because the men are fulfilling their role, which is to be the figure of authority.
Now, well, I know we're talking about republics and democracy and all that shit, but if you wanna stay the course on republics, right? You don't even allow universal suffrage. Only people with skin in the game need to vote, right?
Yep.
I don't care if I ever lose my right to vote because I'm a monarch. First of all, I'm a monarchist, but even if you say, Josh, you can't vote anymore, I was like, that's fine.
Yeah,
As long as the
I would
people-
go with
yeah.
net contributors, 1 vote per household.
My thing is like,
I'd be
as
fine with
long
that.
as long as they don't.
If you
issue-
need democracy, I've hated democracy in my entire life. I've never heard one good argument for it.
Yeah, but the opposite end of that is like, okay, what if you get a bunch of people that hate the country and voted in a certain way, and those people have sway over everybody else, and the country is still fucked. So that's
What,
the only-
Mark, are you in team monarchy?
And
when you say you never heard one,
I was
sorry,
well,
I'll ask
best
one
method
question at a
ever-
time.
I'm more, yeah, sorry.
What's your preferred government form? Is another way to phrase that.
That's a good question. I actually kind of like something like the Tibetan model, where a child is chosen and then raised and taught and made to live an ascetic, monastic lifestyle with actually no possessions, can't use money, harder to corrupt. I don't like kind of like a monarchy where I think that whoever is in charge should reign supreme. But I don't like the idea of hereditary monarchy. So something like the U.S. system, which is a blend, right, of a republic and a council of elders and a democracy. Except I think that
we should have a council of elders to pick the council of elders.
And it just needs a little bit of rejiggering. But the president should be sovereign and have a longer term and should only not be elected, but it should be chosen through combat.
So through combat, all right. I mean, there's
Something like
something
that.
is a Khal Drogo style, you know, like we need
like every 10 years you get and 20 guys get to fight it out against him and 20 guys. So it shows leadership. Like get creative with it.
All right.
My thing is that I know I say monarchy in a general, but I'm more of a theocratic monarchy. So a monarchy ruled with religion. So that's my way.
My other question, when you said I've never heard a good argument for democracy, are you using democracy in the way the left uses it to mean a constitutional republic, or are you using democracy to say like an actual system in which everybody votes for everything and it's a majority rule thing?
A democratic republic, or
correct? Yeah. Like, are you saying you haven't heard a good argument for the American system as designed, or are you saying something else?
The American system as designed wasn't that bad, except for the inherent flaw that you could amend it.
I guess I hadn't thought about that as an inherent flaw, but
the
worst things that are currently constitutional standards are almost exclusively products of post ratification, as in post original ratification amendments.
Yeah. Other than the first two, I don't know if I'm a fan of any. Sorry, Josh.
I mean, dude.
We're gonna force Mark to quarter troops at his house.
I hope I'm getting invited back. I don't know.
Anyway,
no, dude,
all right. Last word, Joshy. Go for it.
I mean, freedom of speech, and those are the ones that are most argued the most. I mean, who's arguing for the 17th Amendment, right? Who's arguing for the
Direct election of senators, right?
I don't know.
Or you just pick a number.
Most people don't even know what the next after the first two are. Like, there's like famous ones. There's the 13th, 14th, 17th, 19th, I think, are like the only ones that anyone would even.
Or is 17th the income tax? I can't remember. I should look it up.
The 18th one was the
definitely repeal
prohibition of alcohol, which backfired tremendously and got and the 20th Amendment amended that.
Right.
And then you had the 19th in there, the
Skip
greatest
those two.
disaster. of
Yeah,
them all.
don't even say it.
Okay. All right. Appreciate all of our emailers. Again, if you'd like to send an email or a voicemail to the show, mattchristiansenmedia.com/contact is how you do that. Okay. Before we get into, I don't know if there are any super chats to get to, but we'll check that before we're out of here. But before we leave, I did want to talk about this concept or this question of how much of our economy is fake. Again, I've been reading a lot about all these different fraud cases. Of course, if you watch my videos, you've seen me talk about these different fraud cases frequently. And as part of that, when I was doing some reading about all this stuff on Monday, and I was kind of browsing around the internet and looking for interesting things to talk about, I ran across this story in Hot Air from David Strom. And the question is right there in the headline: what percentage of our economy is fake? And he's actually referencing a tweet thread from a guy called Rambo Van Halen. I don't know what his real name is, but is that I think he has a Unabomber.
I just heard him on a podcast.
No, I don't know him.
I never heard of him either, and I don't remember the podcast, but I remember that name, and I was like,
he's a fan of Uncle Ted, apparently.
Quick Nick Ted. It's pronounced Von, not Van.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Von, but isn't the band Van Halen?
Yeah. So he's differentiating.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It's a
he can be
language thing.
Rambo Van. He can be Rambo Von. Whatever.
Is
This is
it
a little bit.
VAUGHN?
It's VAN.
Yeah, then
You
it's
know,
Van. Sorry, buddy.
okay.
No, it's Von.
Nah.
All right.
Vaughn.
This is going to be
that's how you spell van.
This is going to be a little lengthy. Bear with me because I just think this concept is interesting to think about. So, Mr. Von, Mr. Van Halen, Uncle Ted Appreciator guy writes this. I often wonder how much of our economy is fake. Back in the day in Los Angeles, there was a prevalence of cell phone accessory stores, sometimes several per block. We'd film these dumpy commercial streets. We'd film on these dumpy commercial streets and be working in front of these shops for days, but we wouldn't see a single customer enter or exit. The off-duty cops we hired for traffic control explained that it's all money laundering. Same with the bodegas, the vape shops, and most of the restaurants. In Los Angeles and many other cities, there are miles and miles of streets full of businesses with no customers. And yes, most of them are owned by immigrants. Another story, this time in San Francisco. A new Asian hot dog place opened in my neighborhood. It looked cute from the outside, thought it might have good food. Sometimes these places do. So I went in and I ordered a hot dog. The cute Asian girl disappeared into the kitchen, doesn't come out for a long time. After 15 minutes, I walked to the counter and asked, "How's it going in there?" And I got no answer. So I peeked into the quote-unquote kitchen, and to my surprise, there was no kitchen. It was just an empty room. No fridge, no stove, no food, and there was no cute Asian girl. She had left. She had my money, so I stuck around to see what the fuck was going on. A few minutes later, she returned with a hot dog. I have no idea where she got it from. I asked. She pretended not to understand English. So this raises some questions because in San Francisco, the health department grade must be placed in the window of a restaurant. So the fake hot dog place had a legit 99% rating, probably because they had no food on the premises. So somebody from the city of San Francisco inspected and passed a fake restaurant. The inspectors are probably on the take. At best, they looked the other way. These so-called shops take up a lot of retail space. It's a lot of real estate, and retail space, especially in San Francisco and Los Angeles, is expensive, mainly because the cheap space is taken up with fake businesses. In the past, I've looked into opening retail businesses. The biggest expense is rent, and it's so expensive that I abandoned my business ideas after running the numbers. So how much of the commercial real estate market is propped up by these sham businesses? And how many honest entrepreneurial Americans would be running their own small businesses but aren't doing so because the rent is too damn high, like the guy was saying 10 years ago or whenever that was. Once you start, yeah, I forgot about it. Once you start looking for fake businesses, you can't stop seeing them. So the next time you're driving around your city, look at the dumpy commercial strips, the dirty store windows. Look at the crappy strip malls with peeling paint, cracked signs, and empty potholed parking lots. Then ask yourself, how much of this is fake? And of course, I'm considering this in the context of a lot of these welfare fraud schemes where there's a lot of money laundering operation to try to conceal the flow of money and all that. And how is the Leering? I think we all know the Leering Center is the tip of the iceberg in terms of the fraud. Yeah. But is the Leering Center as a storefront the tip of the iceberg in terms of how many of the things we see driving around town being actually fake as cover for some other type of scam? And the secondary point he raised about if that is the case, and it seems like there's good reason to believe it might be, how many honest businesses are we crowding out of the market by consuming up the real estate with fraud and absolute nonsense like the Asian hot dog store in San Francisco? What do you guys think about this theory or this concept?
There's a lot there. There's a lot there.
Well, if you want to go
first,
first,
you go, because I could do about 3.5 hours on it.
But my thing is, that's kind of the question I have with all these Latino shops popping up everywhere. And there's even a painting shop that's been in my hometown for years, right? COVID killed a lot of stuff, but that one's still there. And I was like, I hardly ever see anybody in there during the day, at night. So I was like, there's got to be something else going on within that store. And there's a lot of stores that are kind of like that. It's like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people in there. It doesn't seem like much going on. Now, for the Latinos, I would argue that they are actually kind of legit, because when the day begins, you see a lot of them in there, right? And you may get some during the day, throughout the day, but a lot of them are just at work, right? And then when the day ends, you get a lot of them that come back and do their thing and then go home, right? So that's how they make their money. But
yeah,
I've come across at least a few. Like, how is this still open? I hardly ever see anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the thing. If this theory is correct, the stores are designed not to be patronized. Like, they don't want you to come in, like the hot dog girl.
Yeah, well,
it's not real. Please go away. We don't want. We're not a business. We don't serve you.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird because you're missing the motive.
Yeah.
So again, it depends on what you're defining as fake. Because when you started, you said how much of our economy is fake, and then that depends on, well, what are you looking at? Is it money laundering? And then for someone like with your perspective, Matt, is money laundering fake, or is that just tax avoidance? Or is another way of, is criminal activity a fake economy? I don't know. Then when you're talking about small businesses getting pushed out and competing for commercial space, like a 20-year lease is pretty standard for a commercial, especially if it's a storefront. Usually you'll do a 5 or 10 year up front with 2 to 4 5-year renewal terms.
I'm shocked to hear that, actually. And I know you know what you're talking about because you're in the business, but 20 years to me in a business setting seems like an eternity. How many businesses last 20 years?
Dude.
Well,
a lot of them do.
If the business goes under, then it's a different thing. But if you're setting up like a lease, a commercial lease, 20 years, like you would want, because you have what's called the build out. So sometimes that'll be paid by the lessee, and sometimes it's included into the rent by the lessor. And you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's to go in and renovate, put in the storefront, put up the signage, all of that. And so the first 5 years, you have your initial term, and then if business is good, you build in 3 or 4 consecutive 5-year terms on top of that initial 5 or 10-year term. So a 20-year commercial lease is somewhat standard. Every business that gets established plans on staying for as long as they possibly can. The last thing you want to do is move. But then is a business that's established for money laundering, you want to have an active business there. And in Montreal, that's half of the commercial activity in this city.
You want to have the appearance of one, but do you actually care about
you need cash flow, or else you're not laundering shit. And so
you need some, I guess. You got to sell some hot dogs. Maybe not zero.
Yeah, you'd want to be selling a lot of hot dogs for cash, and then you can shove in the extra cash and it'll disappear. But if there's nobody coming in and out, it makes it a lot harder to get away with laundering money through there. Not going to say how I know anything about that, but in this city, it's run by the Irish and the Russians. Half of it, Montreal's all bars. Most of them are money laundering operations. So is that fake, or is that the whole economy? And then
the way I'm thinking of fake is covers for the welfare fraud stuff. But of course, that's only a segment of what's possible.
So that's the straight up fraudulent, where they're just stealing taxpayer money. That to me would qualify as fake. The rest of it's just different levels of legit. But yeah, if there's literally no business operating there, and they're not even laundering money, they're just stealing,
Yeah.
Like the Minnesota situation, I don't think that's as prevalent unless it's something like Minnesota, which is why it was so sort of groundbreaking, like just kind of shocking to everybody, because the rest of it, this is the way stuff's operated for centuries in America. And that's what the economy is, unless you're talking about the upper echelons where I was just listening to, like whether Trump's going to do something or not about the Epstein stuff, because that's literally like our entire economy is built on this like magic money. And if we arrested everyone, the whole stock market would collapse and all the bubbles would pop. And that's the real fake economy, is everything being inflated with lending, borrowing, what do you call it, fractional reserve, all that stuff, that's the real fake economy. So I don't know, reading this article, I'm just like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's like, sorry.
All right.
Plus, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I'll take your word for it, but I still think it's interesting to think about.
Yeah, but also to your point, Matt. No, I'm sorry, my kid was acting up. My cat, for those who don't know, but as far as staying in business for 20 plus years, there's a Chinese restaurant, speaking of Asians, right, that's been there as long as I've been alive. So it is possible for some stores to just be at the same spot without 4 years.
I'm not saying, of course, there are businesses that have survived 20 years and much longer. And I guess I would have to know, and it's a question for Mark, I suppose. There's certainly a difference between an established business that is looking for a new retail space and a guy who's starting up something from scratch. And it seems odd to me that a guy starting up something from scratch would sign a 20-year, but maybe that's not what you're talking about.
No, again, if anyone who's starting a business wants as long a term lease on the best terms as possible. It's usually the landlords that are hesitant because, again, there's going to be a build out involved, but they don't know, and so it's really
if their
hard.
business fails, they're just out of the agreement.
How many McDonald's do you know that have ever moved?
I mean, it's not common, but it happens. But I guess my question is, if the business fails, are they on the hook for some kind of lease agreement, or are they just out?
If they're incorporated, they're fine, right? Because it's just the company that goes down.
Okay, so
it happens all the time.
I guess in that context, then maybe my understanding of. I thought they'd still be on the hook for something if they can't continue to operate, they still have some liability. But you tell me that's not the case.
This is what the guy who made this article doesn't understand. The reason that a lot of commercial landlords are hesitant to sign leases is because if you are incorporated and you don't have a business history and you don't have good credit in that business, they're taking on a huge risk renting you a space, because the odds that your business is going to fail are quite high, because most businesses do fail unless what you want, like in commercial real estate, you have your A, AA, and AAA tenants, and what you want is a good corporate tenant, part of a big, multi-billion-dollar company, where even if that location does bad, they're still going to be on the hook for the rest of their lease term. What you don't want is some young, independent, first-time small business entrepreneur with no credit. You're not going to give them a lease ever. So that's why it's the realities of business that are making it hard for entrepreneurs to get the lease spaces, and not that people are selling fake hot dog shops.
Well, thank you for enlightening me.
And as far as I'm aware, it's perfectly legal to set up a hot dog shop and then not have a kitchen and go buy the hot dogs down the street and then sell them for a profit.
It probably is not technically a violation.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Anyway,
totally fine.
all right.
I was just a great idea, actually.
Joshy, you have any other words on this before we?
No staff.
Yeah, maybe it's just smart.
Well, I promise that when I start my farm, it will be a legit business.
All right. No money laundering there.
No money laundering, no Latinos.
Will it be a farming center or a farring center? Maybe a faming center. I don't know. Never mind.
Probably.
Just a couple notes from Tim here. One of the first things a person told their lawyer is don't talk to avoid incrimination. As such, I would expect the lawyer themselves to also be careful what they say. Did she pay him for legal services? Can she get that money back? Who knows? Who knows where that lawyer came from and what his story is.
He broke into a law firm to get his degree.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Squatters' rights on law degrees. But yeah, I think he broke client confidentiality with that interview.
Yeah.
Tim also said people should check out the channel Don't Walk Run Productions for good SAVE Act coverage. People saying the SAVE Act will disenfranchise married women who change their names are full of shit. They never complain about this idea for trannies. That's true. But I haven't followed the SAVE Act closely. I know that the Democrat propaganda talking point is that like you'll have to have a passport to vote. The reality is I think you have to have a real ID, which the real ID is bullshit for a whole bunch of reasons. The federalized IDs that took over, post 9/11 and are finally after delay from COVID and stuff being implemented now. Yeah, I mean, on principle, I don't want federal government control of IDs in that way. However, since when have did Democrats oppose the real ID switch? My understanding is they were all in favor of it and they supported it. And now suddenly getting a real ID is an impossible task for someone to complete as a prerequisite for voting.
I love how Democrats want to be Canada in every single way except really strict voting ID laws.
Do you guys have that?
Oh yeah.
Really?
No, you have to get a registration card at your house. You still got to show up physical ID. Yeah.
Do you guys do mail-in, or is that not really a thing?
I believe we do under really strict circumstances, but I've never done it. I've never even received the option to do it in the mail. No, our voting system's pretty locked down.
It's just there are a lot of
in some ways.
How's that the one thing y'all get
there are
right?
still questionable people voting in many different ways, but yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing
no, they're still completely fraudulent, and there's a million other ways, but the voter ID, we're on top of that one. The system is what the flaw for us, not the IDs.
Ginger Ninja adds, people who are abolitionists, so this is about the abortion context, people who are abolitionists are forces to be reckoned with. So you're right that I know that they don't even like the term pro-life. They prefer the term abolitionists. And I'm not exactly clear what the distinction is, other than, I guess, implicitly, no abortion in any circumstance ever, whereas many pro-life people are willing to make certain exceptions, I'm guessing is what the difference is. They actually stand for what so-called pro-life people pretend to believe, and pro-life organizations hate them and target them harder than pro-aborts. Really? I guess I hadn't followed the politics of the pro-life internal politics.
Yeah,
but
I always
that
thought
guy
it was just good marketing. They were, taking the slave thing.
Yeah, I guess. That guy, I want to talk to that guy in the stream, and I want to talk to him about that incident if he's willing to. But if I could talk to him, I also want to hear him talk about why abolitionist and not pro-life. Get into some of those philosophical differences, because that's new to me. I didn't know that was a different thing.
Am I going to be disappointed again? The people I thought were my heroes are actually the villains. Is this
what are you
what's
talking
going
about
on here?
What do you mean?
The pro-life people. I don't know what's going on with that.
Are they actually bad guys? I think. Yeah. No, I think it's just in nitty-gritty politics.
Yeah, it's a bad compared to what, I think is probably the appropriate question there. Compared to the ideal, maybe bad, but compared to the screaming obese women who insist on the sacred right to murder their children at any time they want, not that bad. So, and I think the abolitionist people would probably admit that, I would hope. But I get it. Like, abortion fundamentally is about not just important principles. It's about it's about the single most important moral principle, that human life has value inherently. Once you compromise that principle, all evil is possible. So people who are absolute on that principle, I can't blame them. I can't argue that that's wrong. Once you chip away at that premise, all bad things become possible, justified. So it makes a lot of sense. I'm not extremely familiar with the philosophy, but if you have to be completely absolutist on one thing, absolutist on the bedrock moral principle that defines all other morality, seems like a good one to pick to me. So I'm guessing they probably make a lot of sense.
Yeah, what did God say? Be fruitful and multiply?
Well, careful. We're going to get into sign tapping territory if you go any further with that. All right, you guys got anything else you want to add before we're out of here?
No, I think I've said enough. I think I've said it. On an economic front, I mean, you got me there. So,
all right.
I'm glad to know we're both on the take power, get a king, and I'm still a proud Protestant, but not a pussy.
All right, fine.
And Protestants do have a massive pussy problem.
Well, thank you. Yes. Okay, we're getting somewhere.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Thanks to our live chatters and super chatters for making the live show a success. If you're listening on demand later, thank you kindly as well for supporting the show. Thanks to our callers and emailers. Thanks to Joshy and Mark for sitting in. Find Mark's revived YouTube channel on his and his X account, linked in the description.
Who gives a crap? I don't care.
Thanks to producer Tim for his assistance. Find everything show related at mattchristiansenmedia.com or mattis.gay. I'll be back on Sunday.
Later.